That way we can shut up. I poop by myself. Let's see who we got here. Who we got here again? We got Dennis. We got Michelle with one L. Really, there you go. We got the young professor. We got the young Christy. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm actually surprised. All right. Well, I gotta readjust this now. Hold on. I hear you. I just gotta get you in the shot now. And then you should be able to park your ass right here. I hear you. Just trying to get you in the shot now. As long as I don't got camera issues back there,
orange and skies.
You should be good.
Hello, rug. I've never been happier to see you.
Hey, yo, you have no.
I'm just mad. I fell asleep Friday.
Boy.
You watched that whole
Listen,
shit.
I'm telling you right now, I'm glad I didn't do a podcast Friday. I just watched the game.
I had you watch that whole shit. And I watched every second.
Oh, you talking about the Miami game?
Both of them.
I didn't get a chance to watch Miami. I didn't get a chance to rewatch Miami's game because I can't, I had to wait 3 days. Actually, I could have watched it today. I could have watched it this morning.
What a time.
Oh, what a time.
Oh, what a night.
Oh, they already got the countdown on almost everything. Everything is live. Everything is live. They're just waiting for some intro music. That's all they waited for.
Night.
Oh yeah,
that's the intro song right there.
Beautiful day back in 23 when Knicks went on a 9-game winning streak. Oh, what a night! Yeah. Oh, what a night! You don't even know. Look at that. You know what's behind there? You know what that is? You know what that is?
Best record in the NBA.
No. That's Power Rankings. Oh, what a night! You see who's in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, what a night!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, it's gonna be one of those days.
I had to play that bitch on the way home too. Lord knows I got high as hell when I saw that game winner. I played that song and watched that whole last scene. You have to do that. When you watch the game, get high and watch that last sequence. It's a great thing. It's 2 a.m. I'm making crazy noise in my going nuts.
No.
I said to myself, how the fuck did I forget about this game? Because if I was in the right state of mind and knew this shit was coming like 2 weeks in advance, I would have got me some tickets.
Listen,
Knicks Friday night, Miami. Come on.
A ton of people that I know that weren't Knicks fans went to that game. I'm happy for them.
You know, I love that for them. I love that for them.
Because they're all Heat fans. I'm happy for them.
Exactly. I love that for them. You saw my post on IG.
Support
You saw my post on IG from Florida with love. It was a pleasure.
Support your team. Like, this is the games you're supposed to go to. You know what I mean? To make sure that your team can continue to get games on the air. You don't want to be taken off the air. Where's my red flag? Okay. We got that over there? So everything's ready? Let's get the show started.
Knicks streaking like a fucking college kid, drunk as hell, running across the fucking party, naked as hell. That's how big the Knicks are streaking right now.
I thought I've been routed before. Y'all ain't even seen me yet. I sit by myself, talking to the. Hey, yo. Welcome back to another day of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only talent, El Idolo Deportivo Taylor. I got my co-host with me. He actually came this time. He's actually with us. He's actually in the building. We got the Storm KJ with us, folks. It is March 6th. 2023. They said highs today was gonna be 89 degrees, low 70. Current temperature right now still 82 degrees. It's still fuego where we at. But somebody was putting out the heat over the weekend, or maybe they was just bringing the heat over the weekend. Listen,
I mean, you said it was a storm.
It was.
It just happened to be an orange and blue storm.
It's been orange and blue skies, boy, it brights up the eyes. We got card getting signed. We got a Blue Chew promo code. We got Jones. He wins his return decisively by tap out. That's the only thing we're going to talk about that, right? We got the Knicks streaking. We got birthday shout-outs. Ja Morant is suspended. We got the Chris special. We got the Chris streaking too. Oh, yeah, we got the Chris special. We got, listen, we may talking about a couple of people that we had in the club. Actually, no, we scratching out. We're going to open up the club on Friday. We'll let you know then. Right, we got NFL free agency. That's tomorrow. That is tomorrow, but that hasn't stopped the signing from starting today. And if you haven't looked about the people that we're going to sign tomorrow, the combine has been on fire. We got KD returning. We got the power rankings. You heard us talking about that, right?
Some great NBA.
I mean, listen, you got Book and Luka going meet to meet. You got
pause.
You got the Rat already beefing in Chicago. Giannis,
and he got splashed on for the game.
And Udonis Haslem, he's announced his retirement from the NBA after 20 seasons, making sure he get his tenure and that retirement check. All that and more coming up next, right
and
here.
How I feel about that is how I feel about Derek Carr signing to the Saints. Does this affect the
MyT Sports Podcast? You know what we say here, folks. Regardless of the time, regardless of the weather, it's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. So get your drinks. So get your joints. So
orange and blue.
Pack your bowls. So
orange and blue skies.
Get your Phillies. Get your cigars. Get you a beer. Whatever you go, we about to get it on, right? So let's start talking. Woo! We back at it like a sports fanatic. Pop my collar on this one, my team. sports.
Cook it up.
Woo!
Cook it up.
Oh man, what a sports week! And I didn't talk to you
up.
guys Friday either. And we didn't talk to you guys Friday either. We've had such a sports weekend. But you guys know what we do here on the Mighty Sports Podcast. You guys know what we do here every single show, right? We like to start off. I knew I forgot something.
Oh Lord.
We like to start off every single show with a nice little birthday celebration. What we do here is we give a little birthday shout out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we was on the air. Remix. I'm not doing Thursday and Friday.
No.
I'm just saying. You have to bear with me.
Yeah, said, fuck your birthday on Thursday and Friday.
Listen, man. I actually started writing down the people for Friday too, but I didn't type them in the computer, so you guys are asked out. But you know what, DJ MyT, let's not talk about the people that didn't have a birthday. Let's talk about the people with a birthday. Drop that birthday beat for me. Water's good. Some fresh quality, high quality H2O. Agua. You know what I mean? You gotta make sure you drink your water so your IQ can stay high. It's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy. Okay, what we have here is a couple of birthday shots that we want to give out to. What we do here in the Mighty Sports Podcast, we're sort of every single podcast with a little bit of a party, right? And the party right now is a little birthday celebration. We give a birthday shout. Everybody had a birthday since the last time that we was on here. So we're going to cover the 4th. We're going to cover the 5th. We're going to cover the 6th. Really, we had no birthdays for the 5th, right? Nothing on the 5th. Oh, don't worry. The Knicks got your 5th covered, right? But we got birthdays for the 4th and we got birthdays for the 6th. Let's start off for the
Knicks got your 9th covered.
Well, you know what I'm gonna say. Like, what's that old Sesame Street joke, right?
Something appropriate.
It was the letter 7, right? We wanted to go. Was it number 7? Number 7, right? Was it number 7? I'm fucking up the joke already. It's okay. And then, right, let's go ahead and give our birthday shout outs, right? We got our first birthday shout out going out on the 4th. That is to one Dennis Patino. Dennis, I've met. When did I meet you, Dennis? I think it was Prime America. I think we were showing people how to get their finances together and set them on a path of financial freedom. I think that's what we was doing back then. So big shout out to you, right? Even though those clappers. Right. Also, we got a birthday to Michelle Morelli. Happy birthday to Michelle as well. Then we move on to today, folks. We move on to today's birthday. And for today's birthdays, first birthday we got is to Matt Grafer. Now, can I tell you something? I've never met Matt a day in my life. If I saw him in person, I probably would not know what he looked like unless he had on one of his suits. But I'm going to tell you this. When I started off in the world of ring announcing, I remember trying to look for local wrestling organizations around here that may could use a ring announcer. And I kept on running into one person that has already been there. And that dude's name was Matt Grafer. And also, can I tell you though, it wasn't just that. Once I don't know if it was a pattern in the name, I also checked him out. I went on his page and his suits. Oh my God, your suits. Take it from a person that goes Sega strong on all of his suits. Take it to a person that channels his inner Clyde when it comes to his ring announcing suits. Your suits, my friend, superb, on par, fantista. In the words of the great poet, Future, sensational. Happy birthday to you. Right? And then the last birthday today. It's actually
words of the great poet Future. Sensational. Cut this show.
What? Listen, you know the great poet Future has given us plenty of one-liners. Like what do
one-liners?
One-liners. I mean, listen, In his songs, he also has one-liners that we remember. Or just in his lifetime, he has one-liners. Like the way that we refer to a female that no longer belongs in a happy home. I'm just saying, we've gotten a lot of philosophy from this guy. You know? So let's wrap this. Last birthday for today happens to go out to somebody
Don't get too comfortable.
that is kind of like fam, right? It's my homegirl's little cousin. I like to think of her as cousin. Sometimes I'm out of fun. Right, you know, Tom's is rough right now.
I said we going through something right now, so
You know, I'm unemployed right now, so you know, I can't partake in employment activities. This is like trying to be involved in all the reindeer games and my nose is black. Like, no, you better go in that bathroom and light that nose the fuck up. Oh shit! All right, Rudolph. I'm ready to go. All right, Santa. I'm ready to go. Nose is lit in the motherfucker. You trying to see through this shit? I don't know where I'm going, but I'm gonna get us there. Lit up like a motherfucker. I'm alive. The only red-nosed reindeer? Come on now. And all that snow in the north? Come on now. We know what you've been trying to tell us. Like I've been trying to tell Christy Brock. Christy. Her last name is Brock. That's Natalie's little cousin. Well, let's tell Brock. Christy. I don't know. I feel like Christy, like if she would have like ever wanted to be like a deadlifter, she could probably compete in some deadlifting competitions. Like she probably could.
I don't put nothing past the great strength of our women out here.
The only thing we put past them is admitting when they're wrong. Woo!
You talk about
a
whole hour of podcast on that type.
So to Denise, and to Michelle, and to Matt, and to Christy, we want to wish you all a happy birthday. We want to wish you all a happy birthday. Hope you partied hard because the weekend just passed. Oh, I hope you definitely should have. If you ain't partied hard, I'm gonna be vexed.
Mad vexed.
For real. Right. So to Denise, to Michelle, to Matt, Christy, honorable mentions to Amanda and Mike. Hope you all party hard. You enjoyed everything. Like you party hard, enjoyed everything, regret nothing. You got your weekend at Bernie's on. You know what I'm talking about? When your friends gotta hold you up. You got your weekend at Bernie's on. But more importantly, you survived the partying. You survived the birthday. You survived the hustle, the bustle, the struggle, and the muscle. You continue to stay. MyT. All right, DJ MyT. You can go ahead and cut that. Oh, you cut it early too. You can go ahead and cut that beat. Let's just go right into it. Let's get into our first topic of the day.
First of all.
Oh, no, not the first topic of the day. Let's get into our MyT topic of the day. The MyT topic of the day is a topic that kind of supersedes all topics. It may be in sports, it may be outside of sports. Whether you go in or you go out, this is one of those sports that you have. This is one of those things that you have to step back, look at your work, and be like, God damn, what the fuck is going on here? And our first, God damn, what is going on here? Just happened to kind of share the namesake of his fallen son. Okay, he's not injured. Ja!
Not like that.
Ja. Why, Ja? Ja!
Emotional damage.
Yo, emotional damage, financial damage. Like you understand? Reputational damage.
Let me see if it go grab this. Yo. Yeah, bitch, shut to you. All the cribbing about to come out.
If you're like right most of us, you woke up, was it Saturday morning? Saturday morning. You woke up Saturday morning. Or maybe you weren't sleeping yet. Right? It was still kind of early. Maybe you weren't sleeping yet. And maybe you just happen to pop on your IG and be like, oh shit, John Morant is live today at 3 o'clock in the morning. I wonder what the young G is doing. Hit him with the blick, with the blicky. Hit him with the blick, with the blick. John Morant on IG live talking about we throwing up our ones. What you then throwing up gang signs? How you gonna represent 2 football players at once? Like how you gonna do the tour while also acting like Cheddar Bob? What was his name from the Giants?
Burris.
About to burst your ass in the ditch somewhere.
Your punk ass lucky you didn't do that shit in New York. It had you in Rikers immediately.
So this is all now coming out. So and remember, we've been talking about John Morant has been in the news for the last month for all the wrong reasons.
Wrong reasons.
It started off cute. It started off real cute. Like, oh, look at that. I'm good in the West. Oh, look how cute he is. You know what? I respect that. You know, we all respected it. Then it comes out that then you got beef with Shannon Sharp, the honorary unk of black people. Facts. I love sports. Because, you know, I mean, Stephen A is another unk, but he's that other unk. Like,
he's that unk, like, you know, I fuck with you today. I don't fuck with you today, son. No, he doesn't watch.
Listen, when you go to Shannon Sharp's house,
you fuck with that nigga all the time.
Like when you go to Shannon Sharp's house, he's like, I know your uncle Stephen A. Smith don't let you smoke over there, but with your uncle Sharp now, and you can do that shit right as long as you share that shit with me.
And you sip on this Laportier. But which I have done before. That Laportier is pretty good. Go get that shade.
So he comes out and he's given, and no, he's beefing with Shannon Sharp, right? One day at a Lakers game. And it was right around that same time that he put out the statement that he's good in the West. And then that started a nice little slump that the Memphis Grizzlies started having, where suddenly they couldn't beat any of the West teams. And then all of a sudden, Kevin Durant joins the West. Kyrie Irving goes to the West. You understand? Like the West just said, hold on one second.
Lakers make changes.
Let's boister up this West and let's see what John Morant's
coming back at some point, which he did yesterday.
Dropped 27, but
still an
L. So you saw the so the timeline shit for John Morant starts getting shaky, right? Because the beef with Shannon Sharp happens. Then a rumor comes out, right? Or a story comes out that there was an issue with his entourage approaching the Indianapolis Pacers street team or bus team or whatever, travel team. There goes the words. Travel team. Then shortly after that, you hear Shannon Sharp having to scold him on national television. He tells us like, yo, this ain't even about what happened at the game. You're not street. You're not hard. Not thug. Right? You have to come see me or like nobody thinks it's not cool to be like none of this stuff. And we all was kind of wondering, what is Shannon Sharp referring to? Because we kind of heard the whispers, but we're like, what is Shannon Sharp referring to? Because this ain't just the incident that they just had. This is other insider shit that he has. He's giving him a fair warning. You got breaking news? I kind of wanted the Pacers to win this game, to be honest with you.
Why? Oh yeah, well, yeah. Any dub that you have to understand. When I hear you saying you want
the Pacers. Gotcha.
You understand?
You got a shock. You was like, whoa.
I'm like, this is
you glitched for 2 seconds.
I'm like, whoa, this is the same nigga. This is the same nigga. Whenever you hear the one Pacer, when you think Pacer, you think this person. Whenever this motherfucker's associated with an NBA game, the TV's on mute.
I'm saying,
and I've watched it, so I'm not just saying. I watched it. I've literally watched him say, literally be knee deep in the computer, just finishing up the pod. Knicks playoff game against the Hawks come on. Just like that. Just like that.
It was messing with the wiring in my brain.
Literally, knee deep, typing and everything right here. I didn't say a word. I'm literally watching the TV. I'm watching, pick this shit up. I said, "Hey, yo!" He looked at me, said, "What? You thought this was a joke?" like I dead ass don't listen to Reggie Miller call games
because it takes one sideways comment, and it would have to be about the Knicks. It could be like, "This is why you got to guard the 3-point line." I can't listen to this nigga no more. It could be Golden State versus Houston, and Steph Curry going off for 23 3-pointers, and I can just hear him.
This is
I can hear him on the 23rd 3-pointer finally say, "This is why you got to guard the 3." And I can't listen to this nigga no more. He's taking shots at the Knicks.
This is factual. Because at first I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's a Knick thing. Then I'm like, fucking Kawhi's playing Philly. It has nothing to do with the fucking Knicks, and we was fucking dog trash that year. I'm like, this nigga serious. This nigga flat out just muting games just because Reggie Miller called this shit.
Listen, I'm telling you, you know who's close? Your namesake is almost close. Sorry, different letters. Why I always do that? The RJ thing. It's been since rookie year. Richard Jefferson, he's kind of close. These light skinned niggas be pissing me off. He's the only light skinned nigga I like on television that calls games.
Barkley?
That calls games?
Barkley?
No, Mark Jackson. He's the only one I can stand. And even that nigga left us to go to the Pacers.
But technically, he didn't leave us. The Knicks traded him to the Clippers.
It's in the same category of how all of a sudden we got beef with Donovan Mitchell.
It ain't
us.
I got beef with him.
But listen,
I got beef with the Knicks front office for not pulling the trigger.
They wanted so
much.
With
that said, don't trade nobody.
They wanted so much though. You guys have no clue how much they wanted.
They wanted a lot.
They wanted,
really did
like
want
people
a lot.
like so many people keep thinking that it's just Quentin Grimes. No. They wanted Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, 3 to 4 conditional unprotected first round picks. Like you understand, like they were gonna mellow us.
I ain't gonna hold you. If I'm RJ Barrett, I'm taking that personal in the playoffs. Taking that personal. You'll take that personal. You have to.
Listen, they didn't do
it. They literally have the narrative out there. They literally have the narrative. The narrative is literally out there. Like the deal didn't go down because of you. That's literally what's being said. The deal didn't go down because of you. You cannot come out here in no playoffs and average.
No, but it was 10,
11 points.
It was after asking for Obi Toppin and RJ Barrett. They also wanted Quentin Grimes. And they also wanted somebody else. Like they wanted 4 players and 4 picks.
From what I hear.
It wasn't RJ. It wasn't RJ.
From what I hear.
You mean Donovan Mitchell?
They would have pulled the trigger if they didn't say RJ.
No.
As soon as they said RJ, it was done.
That's not. No. That's not
yes.
It. That's not it. No. That's not it.
Yes.
Listen, that's not. I'm telling you, that's not it.
My cousin.
My source is Alan Horn. That's my source.
Okay. I have an aunt who works in the media for the Knicks.
Listen.
We get this shit up. So we get this shit deeper than what is heard on TV.
Listen, Alan Horn don't talk on TV.
Radio, whatever. TV,
Listen,
radio. That's the talking media head who comes on the stuff.
Listen,
you already know they're not gonna get as much as a real in-depth.
No. He does because somebody accused him of it being his take about what I just said, and he was like, I never heard Alan Horn lose his like I've heard plenty of people losing composure on the radio, or Alan Horn I've never heard lose his composure. He balked on somebody, completely blacked out on somebody today. Was it today or yesterday? What's today? Monday? Today, because he wasn't on yesterday. Maybe it was Friday. But it had to be today because it came up again today. Completely blacked out on somebody. because their take was they thought that all it was going to take was Quentin Grimes. He was like, no, they wanted a plethora of people. He was like, listen, this isn't a take. This is what it was. 3 to 4 unprotected picks. RJ, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, and I keep forgetting who that other player was. Then after they tried to get, so they had that original package that had RJ and Obi in it. Then when they tried to get Quentin Grimes, and they were like, nah, let's try this package. And every package that they tried after that, Utah was just like, nah. But nah, it wasn't RJ's name in there that.
Yeah. It wasn't just RJ's name.
But it wasn't RJ. It wasn't.
But who's the person that they keep talking about the most in that deal? Who's the person they keep talking about the most?
Because he's the highest draft pick.
Ah,
that's the reason why his name comes up the most. But he's not the reason why that trade didn't go down, though.
But you know better than this. You know better than this. At the end of the day, when they talk about a big fish, do they care about the little side pieces? They care about the little side pieces, T.
But okay,
if you want to waste your time explaining that story,
okay,
that's fine.
Okay, so
all I'm saying is,
if we're talking
in the spectrum,
mm-hmm.
if it's Knicks versus Cleveland, and Donovan Mitchell is flat out dogging them, I'm talking dragging, and RJ's.
Listen,
RJ's 3 for 12, 3 for 13.
RJ should take it personal for a different reason. RJ shouldn't take it personal because he was the reason why that trade didn't go down. That's not why he should take it personal, because that's not true.
Go out there.
He should take it personal because they would try to trade you for this nigga.
Go out there in the playoff series and play like you did. 2 players, Julius and RJ. Go out there and play like you did against Atlanta and watch what happened to you.
Oh, we're gonna get embarrassed by Cleveland. 5-1 again, 4-1 again.
I'm not just talking about embarrassed. I'm talking about you were in talks about getting traded for this nigga. We held you down, and this is what you do.
Listen, we'll see.
The
personally,
the narrative. I'm saying what the narrative is already out there. That's the narrative right now. RJ, if you that nigga that I think you can be, you're not gonna let that man just come show you up like that. No,
but we'll see.
If New York tough, New York pride, you're not gonna let that man just come up in there and do you dirty. Julius Randle, the way that you got dogged against Atlanta and whatnot, they made you look like you went from an all-star to somebody who looked like didn't even belong on a fucking basketball court playing against the Hawks.
We can talk about the Knicks.
Yeah,
get your questions lined up.
My bad.
Get the phone lines lined up. Listen, start getting all your comments, getting all your questions ready wherever you're listening at. We will talk Knicks. We will talk free agency. We will talk about all of that. Let's not get derailed from our MyT topic of the day. It's so easy to get. It's so easy because we're talking high draft picks and they share the same draft. But you know what though?
But what was the thing that you said about?
I'm about to say it right now. I'm about to say it again right now. Probably. I don't know if it's okay. That's IG. It's behind the scenes camera. They should know better by now.
Exactly. You got too many platforms to watch us by now, motherfuckers. If you ain't on, that's your fault.
Knicks fans, I'm gonna tell you this very weird, right? And let's go back a little bit. When the draft first happened, right? The RJ Barrett, Zion Williamson, John Morant draft. When this draft was happening, there was a lot of people that wanted Zion Williamson for the Knicks. There's a lot of people that wanted John Morant. I was one of the people that wanted John Morant for the Knicks. Who I wanted to stay away from was Zion. Who I was hoping that Minnesota would have overthought about was John Morant, because remember, John Morant had that offseason knee injury, had that little knee surgery or whatever. I was hoping they would have overthunk themselves and talked their way out of not picking him so the Knicks could get him at number 3. Now, the Knicks end up getting RJ Barrett, who before it was a Zion Williamson and before John Morant, before both of those guys exploded onto the scene in college, RJ Barrett was the consensus number 1 pick. Supposed to be coming out of that draft. So, draft night happens. we already know the rhetoric. Knicks fans get upset. Next thing you know,
typical
worst draft ever. Blase.
as if they didn't have no choice because we are the third pick and the other two were taken before we had an opportunity to do.
4 years.
So you have to take the best available.
4 years later, we're here. I've already said this. You know what's funny? Because I remember when I was saying this about Kristaps Porzingis, and nobody heard me, and nobody listened to me then. I called Kristaps Porzingis Anthony Davis in New Orleans. He was good enough to win them games and to be effective when he was on the court. Just couldn't stay healthy enough, and their careers were kind of parallel at the time. Like, really look at it, how their careers are parallel at the time. But what I want you to remember more than anything else, Knicks fans.
It's okay.
Knicks fans, remember how you talked about Tingus Pingus?
Tingus Pingus.
You remember how polarizing Tingus Pingus was? Half the city wanted to get rid of him. Half the city wanted to keep him, just in case he ever became something. There's something that he is. He's now in DC, and it's still barely what we needed.
Tingus Pingus.
Zion Williamson has become Tingus Pingus.
Oh shit!
Think about it. If Zion Williamson was playing for New York right now, you would be talking about him the same exact way you were talking about Tingus Pingus. Right now, we have officially won that draft. As it currently stands, right now. And this moment, we have won this draft. RJ Barrett has not, let me rephrase this. He has missed the games, but he has had, what was it, like the flu or something. He always has like some viral disease at the beginning of the season.
We could have had Darius Garland.
I get it, but that's not that's nothing to do with this right here.
It does. It was the same draft.
That's nothing to do with this.
Two picks later.
I'm still okay where we're at.
One guy's made all.
RJ Barrett has been more
actually
reliable than Zion Williamson.
True.
And while he hasn't been as impactful as wins and losses, because they've basically made him the number 3 guy in every scenario that he's ever been with Tom Thibodeau.
He hasn't stepped up yet.
But we saw what happened when he was the number 2 guy last night. When he no longer had to put himself in a diminished role.
Looked like somebody just said, no, you don't have to worry about not being number 2. I'll just step all the way up and be number 1 for the night. Julius, you can stay 2. RJ, you can stay 3.
Actually, that didn't even happen. Somebody came off the bench and said,
"That's what I'm saying.
Both guys,
both y'all niggas,
both
can
y'all
sit down.
Can relax. I got this."
That's what happened last night.
He was like,
"Say y'all boys can stay in your prospective roles that you typically do."
He's like, "Julius,
I got the top dog shit
like,
tonight.
I see you having problems with it. He may be smart.
You made that game-winning
my
3.
IQ."
You made that game-winning 3 and had 43 points and blah, blah, blah.
Let's continue, John Moran.
But in TD Garden on Sunday night,
let's continue.
I'm the nigga tonight.
So as it currently stands, while Julius Randle, RJ Barrett has not been as impactful as John Morant has. Obviously, he hasn't also been put in that position either, right? But not as impactful as John Morant has. He also hasn't been the headache that John Morant has been over the last 2 weeks. And it really has only been the last 2 weeks. We can't sit here and say that. So I don't want to sit here and make it sound like, oh, John Morant's just been this basket case since day one. He has not been Antonio Brown wasn't even a basket case on day one. Like, he eventually had to get hit like by somebody. You know what I mean? So, but you saw the little snowball that has now turned into an avalanche for John Morant. Flashing a gun at the club. Right? Even before that, after they came out with there was an incident about him on the bus. Then there was another incident about him beating up a 17-year-old boy and flashing a gun in his face. His next sideline celebration is booyaka, 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 booyaka. And then he flashes the blicky on IG.
After an L.
Did he have diamond? Did he have a grill on? I couldn't see. I couldn't see if he had a grill.
Nigga,
He had a grill. He had a
in
grill.
the games playing with the grill on.
Yes, he. I didn't even notice it. I really thought he had a bow tie on, and I realized that was a really short ass necklace. I thought he had a bow tie on for a second. But
I was like, Ja, you got something you want to tell us, B? Like, you in the club with a fucking bow tie and no shirt on? Yikes.
So now the NBA immediately they come in and they suspend him for 2 games. Initially, just 2 games at first, and then you keep hearing investigate. We're going to investigate. We're going to investigate. We're going to investigate. And you start to wonder, what can they be investigating? Well, it all depends on where they're at. Remember, their team. Remember, NBA is a traveling organization. Not every state has the same laws. Where are they playing at?
Denver.
John Morant may have very easily carried his registered or unregistered weapon on the company plane, which is a no-no for the NBA, across state lines, which is also a no-no, and then had it out in public, and it may not be registered in Colorado. I'm pretty damn sure that his Memphis gun is not. That's also why we just need we also need a statewide organization instead of this whole gun in the organization. Keep trying to take. You know what I mean? Like no, but that's a whole entire another ring of just to try to take money away from people. But it's easy for the people that want guns. So you know, I mean, you're gonna pay for it. But still, sidetrack.
F all that. The optics of it alone don't look good. You just took an L. You just took an L in Denver. You already on the road. Like, for one, what you doing away from your teammates in Denver? You're not even in Memphis.
He's with the homies. The road dogs.
You in Denver. It's like with the fact that you even have the time.
It's the blicky and the clicky.
The fact that you even have the time to go to the club after an L in Denver.
I mean, it's nobody central though.
I get it, but you just took a L. And granted, think about how long you even stay in some of these cities after your game.
Sorry, I was thinking about snow bunnies.
I know you think about snow bunnies. I know that, you fucking freak.
Speaking of, a freak didn't get his triple-double last night.
Well, to you. But according to the stat sheet,
it was rescinded.
Oh, they took it back?
That's why I said it. It was rescinded.
The freak thought he came out at night.
For real. Somebody else came out at night was like, oh no, that wasn't.
NBA said, we done took the blue chew on you, nigga.
NBA said that was not an official attempt at a shot, and only something that actually made an attempt at a shot can get a rebound for, so that does not count.
That's hilarious. I love it. I love the pettiness of the NBA at times.
Oh man,
I love the pettiness.
But we've said this for a while now. There are times in the NBA when I feel like, and nothing against the individual that we're about to replace, because we still think he's doing a hell of a job. But even with his different kinds of leadership. And Adam Silver versus David Stern. David Stern would have had this wrapped up last year.
David Stern was an unofficial gangster.
We know this.
I'm there.
We know this.
Mob shit.
Ties.
Mob shit.
He's tied. Certified. Capo.
New York blood.
Capo status.
It's New York blood.
Dipset. Certified. Ooh, second.
It's the New York blood.
So I'm a go left field for a minute. The Knicks have become so popular. The Knicks have a game against Sacramento, I think, on Thursday, and they picked that game up. That game wasn't supposed to be televised.
I can't wait.
You know who I love for Sacramento? I can't wait to see Off Night.
Dear
I want to see Off Night. Fuck that. I want to see that defense.
I barely see the nigga play.
I know, not enough. So,
but of course, the young light skinned nigga gets in there and does his thing because he can score and whatnot. That's why you took an L against the Timberwolves. Maybe if you put Off Night in, you could have got a couple stops on Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, but also shout out to future coach of the year, Mike Brown, as well too.
Facts.
Are they still the third team in the? Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
They're a game. If the Knicks were in the West, The Knicks will be a game and a half behind Sacramento.
Behind?
Mhm.
Really?
Mhm.
Really?
Mhm.
I thought they would be ahead of them.
I thought so too. They're a game and a half behind them.
No, they're ahead of them. Yeah.
No.
I'm looking at it right now. For total league records,
Look at their percentage. It's like 60 something, right?
no. Knicks
What's Sacramento? 60 something, right? 60.1 or something like that? 60.3?
0.587.
The fuck just happened?
We are 0.591. That's what happens.
Is this this game just finished or something? Did you just take this L? No. Who am I thinking about then? Who's the number 3 seed in the West?
The Kings. That's just how much of a clutter that the Western Conference has been this year.
I just looked at their schedule. I just looked at their record. What's the number 2 record? What's their winning percentage right
The
now?
number 2 record, we low-key got a better record than them too. Memphis.
No.
38-25.
What's their winning percentage?
0.603.
Okay, that's them then. Okay, see, I had the number 603 in my head. I thought it was Sacramento.
603.
I was like, yo, wait a minute. Nah, like they have a record. I'm like, their winning percentage was like 603 or some shit like that. Not Sacramento, it's Memphis. So let me back that up. If the Knicks was in the West, we'll be a game and a half behind Memphis, who's second.
The same Memphis who was supposed to get to the finals at the beginning of the year. I wasn't smoking none of that.
So
shit.
can I tell you? I put money down for Sacramento to hold on to that. To hold on to the Pacific. Hey, the odds was there. Hey, once KD came, the odds were in Sacramento's favor. I was like, I'm so mad. I didn't put money on last night for Devin Booker to have more than 4 assists, and I was supposed to, and I forgot.
You said you put the Kings to hold out the Pacific.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same division that Phoenix is in.
Yeah.
I hope the odds on that was just a good amount.
I can't remember what it was. I was like, yeah, this will work. I can do this. It was good enough.
All right. You know, sometimes in life you just gotta you gotta take the 3. You gotta take the 3. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
So John Morant put out a statement apologizing, accepting his behavior, and saying something real. And the thing that I thought was the most interesting or the most important, I think, part of the statement that he put out. And I don't know if this is the part everybody else saw. I have to find a better way to handle my stress relief. Like, I have to find a better way to let go of this shit, unwind, and do whatever I do. And when he said it that way, okay,
I tell you, man,
I can understand the clubbing. I can understand not wanting to be in the club at 3 o'clock in the morning, even though Herm Edwards would advise against it.
He would also advise to not press send.
A lot of other stuff. Don't drink. Don't mess with lovacious women.
Stuff. And you know the real funny shit is
he ain't wrong.
It's not even that he's wrong. That he ain't wrong. The way he says all these things, like, Herm, do you have a story that you'd like to tell us? Do you have a story that you would like to tell us?
I know this for a fact.
Like, Herm, every time the nigga Herm says to not do something, I'm like, oh, Herm, do you have a story that you'd like to share? Turn them cameras off. It's off the record. My phone is way over there. We not recording nothing. Go ahead. Talk your talk, B. Matter of fact, here's a shot. Take a shot. Take a shot if you love yourself. It may give you the confidence to start talking.
But yeah, so that was the big part for John Morant. I kind of took that out of it. I'm like, okay, I can get that, but you still have to make better decisions. All right, I heard a lot of people that came. I heard a lot of individuals that talked on it. Right, Jalen Rose, Mike Wilbon, Stephen A. Smith, Stat,
dramatic as hell.
Right, I heard all of them speak on it, and ultimately, real easy. John Morant got to do better. He has to. What's going on, Ace?
Better.
John Morant has to do better. If John Morant feels, because I remember somebody brought it. If John Morant feels that he needs protection, hire security. Hire big niggas that need money to take bullets for you. Don't trust these niggas that you know from the streets to take bullets from you. Because you know what is pre-programmed in their DNA? Duck, cover, run.
Or shoot first and cause all the problems.
You know what security's trained to do? Protect you, take shots.
Then again, you could also, just because I'm this guy, I'm like, Ja, what the hell are you doing so much that would inquire that you would need all this security anyway?
No. He could be targeted. I understand. No.
I understand.
That's what that NBA needs to
No. See, why he would need all that security to begin with,
or why he needs the gun to begin with. But
the reason why I say this is because Giannis is marketable as hell. I don't see Giannis worrying about security. Joel Embiid, I don't see him worried about security. I mean, do I need to continue? Steph Curry, I don't see him worried about security.
Well, also because they're not. Well, also let's be honest. Let's be fair.
Dame Lillard, I don't see Dame worried about no damn security.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this though. I have a feeling Dame Lillard's lifestyle has not been that much different than John Morant's. It's just that Damian Lillard.
Dame is probably the perfect example to this.
Damian Lillard is probably really certified in these streets. One, and two,
doesn't have to flaunt shit for nobody.
Two, has a very old school mentality. I would say he's very mature for his age. Where I don't think you would listen. When we saw him rapping from the team playing the other day, we thought that was kind of. I don't know if you. I thought that was kind of out of character for him.
How much time we talk about Kyrie Irving being out of pocket?
Tons.
That is literally the perfect example.
But also, okay, no. There's a slight difference.
We talk about Kyrie the way we talk about Kyrie and all of that shit and distraction and all of that stuff.
I'm gonna give you the slight difference.
That individual we don't worry about law enforcement. We don't worry about needing fucking security.
It's probably okay.
He gets
one is probably
and the thing that sucks, as much as I love Ja, this is young athletes. This is all it takes. A bad 2-week stretch, 3-week stretch. It's all it takes. It's not even about career just done. The whole narrative about you is switched. Beginning of last year, with all that, it was the Cinderella child. All of it. And now, after one playoff loss and talking and sticking the chest out as if, like, you know, you've done something to where Klay Thompson has to come out here and G-check you. Klay Thompson, who sounds like the whitest black man, has to G-check you. Klay, I love you.
Listen, who else did he have to check recently? He had to check Devin Booker. It was a Devin Booker he had to check. He had I got 40s motherfuckers.
Yeah, he had to check. He had a checkbook. Because, Klay has a valid reason. People think because he missed all that time, he's not valid. I mean, I just want to know, any of you people, is Klay Thompson still valid or not? But that's another subject for another day. Klay, keep doing your thing, baby. But that's another individual who had to check you. So it's like, Ja.
Don't forget, the phone lines are open. I see you, Ace. I haven't seen Ace
all
in
it
forever.
takes. It's like, all it takes.
Like, shout out to my Podbean family. Peas in a pod. What up, Ace?
All it fucking takes is a bad 2-3 week stretch, and now your whole name is tainted. It wouldn't surprise me if it'll be a long time before we see a Ja Morant commercial on TV.
Hey, and that's
the
other bad timing of it. Just think about this.
In the playoffs last year, this man was dropping commercials with little fucking baby on the
just think about
playoff games.
They just Powerade just reopened their sports beverage drink like endorsement back up to make him the color athlete. And what is he over there acting Jamaican? Buckshot.
Ain't gonna be no Powerade commercials for a while, if at all.
So now he's gonna get that Kanye, Kyrie treatment. All this shit's gonna be on pause for a while until. And think about it. See, and the weird thing about it is that it's just the optics, right? Because you can't have little nigglets on here thinking it's okay to be gun waving on the gram or just out here just recklessly with your, because they're doing it enough already.
You got dreadlocks, tattoos, big earrings, grills.
They're doing
jewelry, all of this stuff. You already feeding into that that type of thought already.
Like they're doing it enough already, right? Chicago's already a war zone. Atlanta's a mini war zone. I don't know if you guys know that Tallahassee, Florida ain't that fucking great either.
It gets grizzly up in Tallahassee.
Boy, I'm telling you, man, they love the blick like they love their mama. And they shoot their mamas. Right? So you don't want to help keep perpetuating that. And that's part of the sad part, right? Because really up until the IG gun wave thing, we were also like, come on, Ja. Because you can see it. You can see this. And then
this shit came out. It's like, B, we was just talking about you with the fight in the 17-year-old thing, and now as soon as it slightly calmed down, this.
And then his teammate gets suspended for his 16th technical.
In the same game. That's the crazy part. You already down a teammate because this light-skinned nigga is out here running his mouth, giving his 16th tech in the game.
Steve Adams ain't there. Steve Adams called the players only meeting. You saw me share it? Steve Adams had to call players only meeting.
I didn't see you share it. I just saw Bleacher Report drop the shit. I said, wow, Steven Adams dropping a players only meeting, talk about we need to be mature basically on this road. I'm like, oh, well, so much for that. But so much for that, because while you're on the road, your star player, the best player in your team, the face of your franchise, is out here
and
waving his shit in Denver. And after an L.
While Steve Adams should be the right veteran for them, he just may not be the relatable veteran for them. Because what have I said about Charlotte? Charlotte needs a vet. Charlotte needs a Tom Thibodeau, a Derrick Rose, and
Steven Adams,
and Taj Gibson. I've said this about a couple of young teams. Like, listen, what we needed. Like, what we needed. Like, they need some adults in the room. I thought Memphis had some adults in the room, but that adult may not be relatable to the other kids in the room. So it's not the right adult. He can help you on the court. I don't think they're listening to him lifestyle wise.
Imagine if the nigga, granted, the nigga can't.
Like imagine, like I put it this way: if he's Udonis Haslem, things go down differently.
Udonis Haslem would have put John Morant in the whole chokehold
because that's Memphis. It ain't fucking South Beach. That is La Playas and putas and cocaine. Let's not forget the cocaine.
To get the cocaine.
Speaking of, we got a couple of notebooks going on here.
Oh, word?
Right? So,
I go lie, that nap went crazy today, so forgive me.
And yet, for the last 20 some odd years, the craziest thing we've heard coming out of Miami is big beer coffee or whatever the fuck that is, and Jimmy Butler having locks and then not having locks and then having locks again,
and the fact I can't get a goddamn NBA All-Star game down here.
That's not listen. That's a whole different issue we have with all of these goddamn sports leagues not wanting to bring All-Star games or championship games down to South
Super
Florida.
Bowl down here every 3 goddamn years, but I can't get an NBA All-Star weekend. I tell you, the day that ever happens, I'm in Miami the whole weekend.
The Flyers and putas.
I'm in Miami the whole weekend. I'm putting PTO from Thursday afterwards. That Thursday all the way through Monday, I'm PTO. I got me a room down in one of the hotels down there.
The Flyers and putas.
The Flyers and putas.
Like y'all trying to go to Beyonce concerts, and I'm just waiting for a Super Bowl to come down.
That's the problem. We've had Super Bowls.
No. I'm sorry. I want an All-Star Week to come down here because we know what the All-Star Week comes. Jordan's Pool's favorite fan base.
Listen, man, a Super Bowl, motherfuckers don't understand, yo. I've seen Super Bowl week down here. I also was in New York
Off night.
I was in New York for the All-Star game 2015, I think it was. I was up there that weekend. I've been to New York, obviously, for what the fuck? I've never seen that many fine women just out and about all over the place.
And you could pass for a baller too, so
Nigga,
hey.
listen.
Tell somebody you're Kyle Lowry.
Listen, this call is recorded for quality assurance purposes, so I can't tell you about some of the things that went down that particular weekend. Because there might be some ears that might be hearing this shit that would look at me very, very suspecty.
I got you. Listen,
if they knew what the fuck went down that weekend and the things I passed myself for.
I got you. Listen, let's just hope that our words somehow make it to Ja Morant's ear. And because right now he is still early enough in this stage where he is so beloved as a player that everybody is willing to let all of this slide. But if this continues, don't think that you can't get Antonio blackballed Brown.
We talking about somebody who possibly, most likely, will not make the Hall of Fame. Somebody who numbers production wise is, if you just put their numbers up, you would say that's the first ballot motherfucker.
Listen, Antonio Brown should be one of the
greatest wide receivers to ever play this
game.
And
one of the great stories of nothing to something
it's
that we
literally.
What was he? What was he, like a 6th round pick?
Forgive me for saying this.
What was he, a 6th round pick?
It's practically Tom Brady-esque.
Yeah.
Sixth round.
Nobody,
left
nothing.
For dead.
Man.
And
raising a kid by himself.
Self-made.
Seriously. Undersized. Listen, you understand, the only reason anybody ever talked about any receiver outside of him, because they were just bigger than him.
That's the only
and can still do what he did comparable.
That's the only reason why.
Was that Julio at the time?
Yep, that's the only reason why it was even a conversation. And the thing that always blew me outside.
Who was it? Julio, Megatron? They were talking about at the time. Like it was.
And then they had the nerve to throw Odell with his nice rookie year in there. I mean, granted, Odell nice, love Odell, but like my brother, you needed to put 2-3 years of work to be put in that conversation.
So you understand right now, Ja Morant, you're beloved still. Beloved still.
But you're teetering.
Because you're turning yourself into something that parents do not want their children to see. And this is also one of those times, again, while it is the gift, it's also the curse. Guys like me love it and hate it. Guys like Dennis Rodman would have absolutely hated and loved it. But social media, thank God it wasn't around for some of our players. Because can you imagine Jalen Rose with social media? He may have made the same exact mistake. Allen Iverson with social media. Gilbert Arenas with social media.
Mike Vick before the arrest.
Michael Vick would have been... Actually, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. If they had social media, Michael Vick would have been promoting his dog fights online, and it would have been a hit before anybody... And it would have been a hit for years before Peter or whoever got a hold of it and then finally got offended.
Shaq in the 90s on social media.
No.
We missed out.
No. Shaq,
oh, God.
I don't want to put Shaq in there only because Shaq wasn't
bad shit.
Yeah, because Shaq wasn't a knucklehead. But Shaq, yeah. I'm trying to get some of these knuckleheads out here. You know what I mean? Like
Jordan with his gambling.
God. Every other night, it would have been, man. So
come on now.
You have to understand. At that point in time, you don't even need social media, Ja.
Ron Artest was
Ron Artest. No, not even this. Ron Artest on social media in his rookie year telling you to come down to Radio Shack and get yourself a deal because he's still working at a part-time job while he's in Chicago. No, not for nothing.
Lamar Odom.
This nigga forget to turn his shit off. Needle still in his arm. He's like passed out somewhere. niggas looking for him. Hey, yo, just do the find my friend.
Oh God.
So, Ja, just believe it or not, you don't even need your social media like this. For real, for real.
The one thing I do want to say is, you know, you hear I hear everybody talk.
We're gonna move on after this. Let's get go. We're gonna move on after this. I'm gonna let you get the last word.
You're gonna love this one. You're gonna love it. Magic.
Nah, you know why? That would have been horrible because you know what?
It'd been Pornhub. It'd been Pornhub.
No,
OnlyFans. Magic and Only. Yeah.
Magic would have been the first male basketball player with an OnlyFans, and then it would have led to his demise because that would have been all the evidence for his lawsuits. He would have never came from underneath it.
But listen, he had 2 streams of income. He'd have been making millions off OnlyFans and then millions from the Lakers.
I got one for you. Imagine this one. So, me and my boy and our Bronco. I think this bitch cheated on me. Let's go see.
No. You gotta know. When he does his videos, he's all smooth. My boy out here, Bronco. I think this bitch cheated on me.
But let's go
find out.
Oh my God.
That would have been. Oh God. Social media just don't know. Had that bitch came out around 1987,
Mike Tyson.
Oh, God damn it.
Mike Tyson would have been the one. Mike Tyson would have been the reason we would have took social media away from niggas. Mike Tyson, what? He's knocking niggas out in the street posting that. That's why you don't fuck with me, bitch.
The Miami Hurricanes in that era.
Like,
Michael Irvin with a social media in 1988.
I'm gonna knock this nigga out, but first let me take a selfie. Mike, I love you. Oh God.
Deion Sanders in 1988 with social media.
So like I said,
Michael Irvin with social media in Miami.
Michael Jordan when he first walks into the Bulls locker room on social media, his rookie year, like, oh, so y'all niggas doing lines?
Oh God, Anthony Mason, rest in peace. But Anthony Mason, Lord have mercy. But anyway, Ja,
Ric Flair.
Oh
God. With social media in his prime.
Hey, yo.
Styling and profiling all over. Yo.
Ricky Williams.
Yo, Ricky Williams and Aaron Rodgers would have been best friends.
Listen, Ricky Williams, if Ricky was playing today, Ricky would be a GOAT. The simple fact of how much weed the man smoked, he'd have been a GOAT.
So Ja. Go seek your savior.
Ja.
And also,
listen,
what they said about his what they also said about
his
his dad is right. Pops, stop being his friend. Start acting like a dad. He's doing things that you should be telling him that, yo, you need to act better. And the fact that you're constantly by his side let's put it this way. I know this is gonna sound weird. Go learn some shit from LeVar Ball. Because even LeVar Ball knew better to make sure that his sons weren't doing dumb shit in the streets because he wasn't trying to fuck up that money or that image. As bombastic as he was, he knew how to tell his boys how to. Now LaMelo may not be listening to him right now, but he still had them in check constantly. And when he was in their presence, they listened. You're in his presence.
The plenty of times that we've seen videos of LeVar Ball literally ripping one or two of his sons
teachable moments
in front of
millions.
Everybody.
IG millions
in front of everybody.
Humbling.
But the thing for me personally that I will draw a line, I wouldn't be on the fence of telling T. Morant now all of a sudden after 23 years how to raise his son or how to be involved in his son.
Well,
I'm not. No,
maybe he fell back a little.
But see, here's the thing.
Maybe he's falling back.
What I would say to T. Morant is, sir, that's your son. He's got your name. Do as you please. That's what I would say. I'm not gonna tell you to not be. You're his fault because I put myself in the shoes of if I was Ja and I got people and I got my father watching people, you know, hearing people say how to, like, I mean, granted, for one, then it's like, get it together. Because now what I was really going to say is all this talk about Ja need to go get help. Go get help. Come on, man. Fuck. Exactly. Stop all that need to go get help talk. For one, you didn't get here without structure. You didn't get here without structure. We saw how you was really brought up. You have structure, young man. And if you really, really care about yourself, this is the time that we find out about who you are as a man, who you are as a person. You don't need to be all this go get help, go see. If it's really that deep, then do what you need to do. But you got people out here talking about like as if Ja like really committed some real heinous acts and stuff. No, and it's like come on, G, like please. It's more of, for me, it's more of like, come on, G, like, see where we at now? Do you see?
Oh, you don't understand. So,
like, do you not understand? Like, let's stand. Okay, we on a 90 foot. We on a 94 foot. Let's stand 42 feet on this NBA court, and let's just do a nice 180 turn about 15 minutes before a ref throws a ball in the air. Look at what we're seeing, bro. A good amount of these people in here are all here for you. So, like, if that's not enough for you to keep not only your name, your family's name intact, then this may not be the sport for you. And that's just how real you got to get. That's just how real you got to get. All this go seek help stuff, no. Because it's not that deep. It's bad because it's not a good look. But we thinking like he took the gun and went to go help somebody with this shit.
So
and granted, I'm not trying to say as if I'm not trying to like lessen the magnitude of this. Like, this is serious because it's like, Ja, like I said before, going in what you were doing, it was all, everything is roses. Everything is roses. The only question about it was like, yo, are you gonna finally beat Golden State? All this talking that you've been doing, that's it. Now we having completely different conversations. But it's just more of, my guy, you are the face of a billion-dollar friend. You are a face of one of 30 teams that make up a billion-dollar franchise, a billion-dollar product. Anything you do, my brother, especially you, one of its faces of its entire league, that the whole league makes money off of, it's like motherfuckers been saying, they're gonna know. They know. They already know. Granted, low key, NBA, NFL, I hope you also know that low key just snitched on yourselves in regards to some of these legal things that come about. We don't want to hear you say we're still gathering information or we don't know certain things. You know, motherfuckers, we're not stupid. We've been knew this, but the Ja Morant stuff the last few days has kind of confirmed it for us. So kudos to that. Good luck to explaining that when you come up with that bogus shit. But Ja, please just understand, like, Just get it together. And if you really do have a bunch of yes men around you, weed them out. Weed them out because they're not any good for you. The ones that you keep around you, the same ones that didn't change up once the money came in.
As one thing, I'm gonna move on. When I heard them say like he was getting help, I was thinking more like I'm gonna get some counseling or talk to like an OG. Like I'm gonna go talk to Jason Williams. I'm gonna go talk to Jay. You know what I mean? Start figuring out how to better maneuver so that I'm not getting caught up and still trying to keep my lifestyle. Because if you get in private rooms anyway, that means you trying to do something. That means you trying to stay away from the public eye. Why give public access suddenly? But he's going. But like I said, I guarantee you this. I don't believe we'll be seeing any more Ja Morant videos. Mm-mm. And if we do, it's gonna come from KD's burner account. Like that's the only way.
Filmed by Kyrie.
All right. So we was in Memphis a while ago, right? Let's move on to a neighboring state. Let's move on from. Let's move on. Period. Let's get to our first topic of the day. We haven't gotten there yet. I forgot we should start our MyT topic of the day. First of all. Blue, orange. That's not the first topic of the day. Sorry. Something broke right before this happened. We're gonna get there though. Carr goes to NOLA. Derek Carr signs a 4-year deal to go to the New Orleans Saints. 4-year, $150 million. And Derek Carr does, I don't want to say the hasty thing. I guess it's the right move for Derek Carr. Derek Carr wants it home. He doesn't want to be the New York Jets' second choice once they figure out what's happening with Aaron Rodgers. He just wants to go somewhere that's willing to give him money and start playing now. He made himself the first quarterback off the field, and he goes and he signs himself a little 4-year deal. Now, what does that mean for the Jets? All right, because that's why this is even relevant. What's your answer? I know you probably wondering what's the only reason this is even relevant is because of how it ties into the Jets. Derek Carr over the last couple of weeks put himself into the bowl of quarterbacks that the Jets may want. And honestly, I also wonder at some point in time if this was just Derek Carr using the New York market, like most people do, as a leverage point to try to see where they can get that money raised to. But the New York Jets did tell Derek Carr, you can be, if you win a championship here, you'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like they told him that flat out. And also flat out that, but we're still trying to figure what's going on with Aaron Rodgers first. As in most of the league. So Derek Carr did what was best for Derek Carr. Derek Carr signed with New Orleans. And takes one more name off of the pool early. Right? There's a bunch of names that are gonna pop up as free agency opens up tomorrow. Right. And we're really gonna find out what's gonna happen tomorrow as guys as we're gonna start wondering about what's gonna happen with guys like Geno Smith. Guys like Geno Smith signed already? Not Geno Smith. Grab him by the pussy. Jameis Winston. Right? What's gonna happen with guys like Jameis Winston, Jimmy Garoppolo? Unfortunately, I have to say some of these other names like Ryan Tannehill. Because all of these names,
purposely let you just want to struggle saying that. I could have been the nice co-host and said it for you, but there's some times where you just need to say it.
Yeah. Right? As other names that have been tied to the
Tom
New
Brady
York.
coming back.
No, he's not. It's like, I don't have to talk about him ever again. I don't ever have to talk about him ever again. He's done, son. He's fucking done.
Take a good look and listen, ladies and gentlemen. That is the pain of a Jets fan right there.
I don't ever have to talk about him ever again, B.
That is the pain of a Jets fan right there. That is Jets fans' pain. Look, he can't even get back on topic, son, because he's so happy you don't have to talk about Brady no more.
It just feels good. It just really feels good. I mean,
I'm from New York, and you know what? Tom Brady's a fucking bitch.
And you know these were gonna be here today because we didn't had deja vu.
Double fucking overtime.
We're not there yet. Just give you guys a little bit of a little tongue action. Just tease you a little bit before we get there. Oh man, sorry. I'm actually really happy about this whole Tom Brady thing.
I know.
I've never been so happy to hear Tom Brady's name up in my life.
It's like Roberto Duran. You just happy that it's over. No mas. That's what you are right now. You're Roberto Duran right now. That's what you are. No mas. That's what you are. That's what you fucking are.
I heard you because you're right.
You're Roberto Duran right now.
Listen, Tom Brady has beat me into submission. I was like, yo, fuck, I can't take that. I don't want to
No
talk
mas.
about this nigga
No
no more.
mas.
Can you just
No
leave?
No mas.
Like, I just want to enjoy a Super Bowl for once in the last 20 years. Like, shit.
I'm just glad the fucker wasn't in my division.
Man.
But then again, the times that he beat me were the most painful times. Them shits were playoff games. Or games that determined seeding it.
Listen, thank God for the Giants, boy.
Ooh.
The Giant Slayers, literally.
I'll never forget 2017. That shit hurt. That was a fucking catch.
So again, what does this mean for the Jets? It's just one more name off the market. Like I said, free agency is about to pop up tomorrow. So tomorrow starts answering you're still gonna get a lot of questions being answered about a lot of people. Giants are gonna start answering their quarterback situation.
Ooh,
the Jets may start addressing their quarterback situation. Like I said, we have
don't do it, Giants. Do not do it.
I said we still have those three other names that I mentioned. The guy from Tennessee, Miami, and like I said, and then there's still Jimmy and I still want to say there's Jameis Winston out there that we haven't fully heard about his status either. So the Jets are still trying to make their move on Aaron Rodgers. He hasn't made up his mind yet. Now, there still is another interesting name in here I didn't mention quite yet, and that is one Baltimore Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson. LaShawn. I don't know what the fuck. I combined them. What's up? What's wrong?
I said, Deshaun, man. What's wrong with you, man?
I said LaShawn.
What's wrong with you? Leave that alone for about 15 minutes, okay? Leave that alone for about 15 minutes. It's clear it's got you talking crazy. LaShawn. What? Hey, what's wrong with you?
You know how I fuck up names.
This guy, Jesus Christ.
Sacramento's up 37-32.
But you know one thing, not for nothing. I mean, I don't want you to go too deep into this. Just like, it's 10:40. Just give me like 2 minutes what you feel about the Jets and their quarterbacks, like what they should do. What you as the Jets fan who watches them, covers them.
We about to get into it all right here.
Okay.
Look
at how I'm ahead of the game.
We right on.
Without even, you see, that's how you know this shit is unscripted.
So I never wanted Derek Carr. I don't want any of Kirk Cousins' cousins. So I don't want the guy to Tennessee.
Yeah, I never want Derek Carr. Nobody want that nigga, man. Once I saw Jets, I'm like, why? You want to go get the quarterback who literally I have watched in outdoor games, especially when it gets cold, November, December, January. Shit the bed.
So I'm gonna tell you this right now. There's three
What are we talking about?
There's 2.5 quarterbacks in play right now, for me, literally, as a Jets fan. If I'm really being realistic.
And if I know you the way I
Actually,
know
no. Maybe 2 P's, right? Because there's another guy out there, and
he's this and third.
I wouldn't mind him. So
does it involve a chain?
No, he's in my one. He's in my 1 and 2. He's in my top 2. He's one of my 2s. So it's like 3 in a P.
See what I gotta do.
So there's like 3 in a P, right? Actually, no, I don't even think he's in there. Actually, no, he may be like the second P. So maybe 3 and 2 P's. No, but we said realistically.
Realistically, like
right?
real talk, not funny shit.
So there's probably 3 names that really, 4, maybe 5 names, right? But there's really 3 names out there that really matter to me. There's really 2, but the third one you have to kind of think about, right? You have to maneuver around. There is Aaron Rodgers. I want Aaron. If Aaron Rodgers is available, we'll get Aaron Rodgers. And honestly, because I my very first statement, I don't want any of Kirk Cousins' cousins. Because if you're gonna go out and get a mediocre quarterback, you have 2 mediocre quarterbacks already on the team.
The problem then is becoming. They're not even sure if them 2 guys are mediocre.
No. Do your goddamn job then. Do your job and develop the 2 motherfuckers. Like
yes.
So
yes.
So
yes.
So instead of
yes. So do what I fucking pay you to do and fucking coach and develop. So God damn it. Shout out to Mike Tomlin.
So that's my point there. If you're going to go out and spend $37.5 million, $35 million,
and then possibly give Daniel Jones, a quarterback who got 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, $45 fucking million a year.
See, he's vexed about the city.
Oh boy!
But if you're gonna do that, right?
That's gonna sober me up.
If you're gonna do that, then develop the quarterbacks you have already in your roster. If you're going to pay mediocre quarterbacks $35 million to come on your team or to be a part of your team, then develop what you have there. Be better coaches.
Do what the fuck I pay you to do.
So if you're going out there, you better swing. Derek Carr isn't swinging.
No.
Ryan isn't swinging.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is leaning in to get hit with the baseball to go.
Actually, I would take Ryan Fitzpatrick over the other Ryans being mentioned. Who said Ryan Fitzpatrick? I'll take Ryan Fitzpatrick over the other Ryans.
I didn't say Fitzpatrick.
You did?
No, I said Ryan Tannehill.
No,
I did not.
It's okay. It's okay. That's why I smiled.
It's
okay.
I didn't say Fitzpatrick.
Because listen, I don't want any of the Ryans that are available, and Fitzpatrick isn't available, so I'll take him. I don't want any of the. Did Ryan retire from Atlanta?
Oh, choke artist.
So I don't want any of the Ryans.
Yeah, I just think nobody.
And
wants
and what did Rex Ryan just go sign to a team?
They were talking about him going to Denver.
I thought he. So
but they ended up taking somebody else.
What the hell did they take?
Oh, they took the black guy. So I can't be mad at that.
I knew they signed somebody. I knew they did something weird. Okay, so
and fuck the NFL. Shout out to Eric Bieniemy. Fuck the NFL. Trust me, I know you talked about that. It's just, brother's been busy. Fuck the NFL for that.
So
bullshit.
If you're gonna swing,
I'll wax the 2 coaches that go get a fucking head coaching job in it. I got to go out to another team.
You ask me a question.
My bad. You know what I'm saying? You know how I be. I'm chill, and then I get going, and then I get back.
Category 1 and 5. Like,
you know what I'm saying? There's no in between. It's either category 1 or category 5. You know what I'm saying?
So
that's why you want to be here.
So it's Aaron Rodgers, because I believe Aaron Rodgers will be motivated to try to get a chip in New York. Super motivated.
Of course.
If he's not, and again, you got to give up pieces to get Aaron Rodgers as well, and then take on $60 million. But you can restructure, do whatever you need to do. Blah, blah, blah. But it's still gonna be about $60 million. I forget what the hard cap. I don't know what the hard cap is.
If they're different New York Jets, they will make sure Green Bay eats some of that money.
Now,
if they're the same old Jets and just take the $60 million straight up and lose a bunch of assets, because obviously what they'll have to give, the guys they won't, the veteran guys that they'll lose, that will be key contributors.
Now there's also Lamar Jackson out there, where
that's the one.
So that's the 1 and 2. That's the 1 and 2. Lamar Jackson. So as much as the Jets, and that's why I say I have no problem with them not signing Derek Carr. As much as they whispered sweet nothings in Derek Carr's ear, it was sweet nothings.
I'm talking about the nothings. You in the club, you talking to a bitch that is supposed to be a back pocket pussy in case you really strike out at the club type shit.
Like this is when you talk to her friend every time she turns her back, right at the club, right in front of each other. You just talking to each other like one of you.
The whole time you telling her like, no, don't worry, boo, we going back to the crib.
But
we gonna do it. Whole time I'm like, man, bitch here, man. Hey, yo, ma, what's up with you?
So that's why this free agency tomorrow makes everything so interesting, because you're gonna be wanting to pay attention to see what Baltimore does as well. Because if Baltimore puts that franchise tag on Lamar Jackson and basically tells the whole NFL that we're willing to take 2 first-round picks for him, you give 2 first-round picks and whatever left testicle
immediately,
and you go get Lamar Jackson. While I don't think Lamar Jackson may be able to get you that championship right. No, because it hasn't quite been all the way yet, right? It would be the best chance he's ever had, given the defense, the run game, and the offensive weapons. On at the receiver position, that is.
Just let me know when you're ready for me.
Now there is another quarterback. Now it's because there's so many other quarterbacks, right? There's Jimmy G out there. Jimmy G's like my last resort. Actually, no. Jimmy G's my next to last resort. My last resort is probably going to be, if you have to give me somebody, I want my boy Jameis Winston. Give me Jameis Winston. I'm sorry, I want to see Jameis Winston in New York. I just do. I just want to see Jameis Winston in New York. Now, there's a third one. Okay. Now there's that third one. Because I was 4 and I was 5, right? Jimmy G, Jameis Winston, 4 and 5. That third one involves whatever trade you make with Chicago to either get their quarterback or to get their pick to get a quarterback. Those are my 3 realistic choices.
I love it. It was the third one for me.
that hook of that possible that nobody sees coming. That's when I come to tell you. That's the one that nobody sees coming.
That undercut. Oh yeah, you got me on that one.
You either go after Chicago's quarterback, or you try to see if they trying to come off that spot, and you go get one of these quarterbacks that started showing up some stuff in the combine. Now maybe not the Florida Gators guy.
Yo, don't do it
because his accuracy is off.
Don't do it.
But
don't.
There's some guys in there, right? I wouldn't mind making this quarterback room a little testy for.
The only team that should consider getting Richardson, and if you're smart, Seattle, you're the fifth pick. Trade back with Carolina to go to 9. Let Carolina take 5 so they can go get the Kentucky white boy, Will Levis. Take Richardson there, because at that point right there, you just paid Geno his $35 million. Granted, I saw he's going to get 52 of it in year 1. Oh, man, Geno Smith. I love it, baby. I love it.
Listen,
but
in the league for 10 years, and now we didn't even bring up Geno. We just keep on referencing it. We even talk about it again. We got more quarterbacks.
It's just what I'm getting at is the narrative is already out there that Richardson is going to have to be someone who sits year 1. There's not, in terms of what's available, there's not a better option than him going to Seattle and learning from Geno. You're going to learn the highs, the lows, like the real lows. You're going to learn how to be a pro. And at the same time, Geno don't have to worry about somebody coming in backdooring him, because he already know that this nigga is a project.
And it allows Geno to at least have security for at least the next 2 years.
You know what I mean?
At least this year and next year.
So it's like,
we just talked about he's getting $52 million up front.
And then on top of that,
you say he's getting $52 million up front?
52 up front.
That's damn near half.
Literally. 52 for the first year.
Go Geno, go
Geno. Look
at
Miramar High's finest.
Mutant turtle looking.
Shout out to Miramar High's finest.
I just forgot about that. Geno Smith and Lamar Jackson both down here. Oh yeah, they need to get their money. Get my boys their money.
Get them boys paid, man.
You know what? I need to start working on getting them 2 niggas on the podcast. They're already down here.
I'm saying shit.
So
I watched the nigga play ball at Miramar.
So what do you have to say about the Jets? You said you let me know when you want to get in here. I know. I threw 5 scenarios, and all of them were heaters.
All I need is 2. For one, your order in terms of who you should go after, switch it around some.
You think
Lamar Jackson should be your number 1 priority to go get?
Well,
and let me tell you why.
Well, can I say this?
No,
because I said Aaron Rodgers first. If Lamar Jackson is available tomorrow, you go get Lamar Jackson tomorrow because they fucked up. So that's how I kind of said it. That's the reason I said it like that, specifically, because Aaron Rodgers is the guy you go after first. But if Lamar Jackson, and also he's the guy that gives you tenure. But
the reason why I say don't even mess with Rodgers. Imagine going all in, and this dude only give you 1 year. That's one reason. And 2, can I be real? I think this dude is pondering whether do I play in Green Bay or retire. Because, not for nothing, if I want to keep playing football, I don't need to go into a goddamn darkness retreat for 3 days, 3-4 days, lock myself in there if I know I want to keep playing.
But this is also part of like an advertisement.
He
was also
stop it.
He was promoting
stop
that.
It.
It was a promotion.
Stop it. Stop it right now.
He was selling time.
Stop it.
It's like him selling
Stop
timeshares to NFL
You sound
players.
like the pitiful Jets fan trying to sell yourself on why he did it. Stop it.
No, no. See, you reading me wrong. What I am telling you is that don't overread into him going into this. You're overreading into him going into that.
Overreading? If I know I want to play, I don't need to go sit myself in a darkness retreat for 3-4 days.
What did he do last year?
All that does is unnecessary promotion for what?
He promoted one of his boys' company.
He went over to fucking Hawaii to go do what he needed to do then.
Listen, this year was a promotion. Because as soon as you found out this was some big old promotion, he started selling all the NFL players on that they should try this. Oh, this is one of his boys' company. Yeah, this is a promotion because he did this some weird shit last year. He does weird shit in the offseason.
Listen, guys, you've had 18, 19 years of success, and the writing's practically been put on the wall that they might not want you no more. Now, all you've been doing is playing football for this storied franchise. And now, I mean, granted, it's still, regardless, it's dramatic as hell. Such a Sagittarius move.
He's just like his damn daddy.
It's such a Sagittarius
He's just
move.
like his crooked daddy.
Yes, it is. That thief. Fuck that motherfucker.
Brett Favre.
But anyway.
Piece of shit. Mighty gone motherfucker.
But anyway.
Isn't he trying to sue Shannon Sharp and them for defamation of character?
Sure is. But anyway,
fucking loser.
All I'm saying is, the more I keep hearing, and this dark shit, I'm just thinking, I'm like, dude, like that type of shit is something for someone who's really considering, do I really want to keep playing? You already see the ground tracks of someone who I get 2 rookie receivers, one in the first round. Or beginning of the second round, another in the 4th round. So, like, they're going to be there regardless. I'm going to depend on them. I don't show up until training camp and whatnot. Granted, you could say organization development, but all I know is I've seen the track record of plenty of quarterbacks.
Like a wish Brandon Ingram.
I don't know. But all I know is I've seen the track record of many great quarterbacks in this position, from a certain quarterback who used to play in New England and Tampa to Mahomes to other guys. They get new guys. It's, let's link up. Let's do what we got to do. To not do that, have the season that you had, granted injuries played a role, and now with probably one of the biggest decisions of your football life coming up, you need to go into a darkness retreat for 3-4 days. And I watched that whole podcast. I didn't hear shit about nothing about promoting this or nothing that he did with Aubrey Marcus. I didn't hear shit about it then. I listened to that, watched that. All I caught vibes of is somebody who, to be honest, was thinking, do I really want to keep playing football, period? Do I want to keep playing football, period, more so than what team am I going to go to? That's what I picked up on. That's why I'm saying Jets. I don't know if you want to keep putting your eggs, because granted, yes, how long it's been, of course, 1 year will feel like 10 years. But that 1 year will go up like this. And we all know how these sports are moving. We just talked about it with Ja. What have you done for me lately? You've done all this, but all it takes is a 2-3 week period. And all of a sudden, all that shit is forgotten. So what? 1 year of battling with Josh Allen for the division. You get there, you may squeak AFC Championship game, the same shit that you did with Mark Sanchez for 1 year, and then boom, that's it. This man up and retire?
And then right back to square one.
Come on.
Or hopefully,
and then you traded all that, and then gave probably close to $45 million to him too. So now you're gutted to where you can't even go get free agents the next offseason. Now it's the same old shit again. That's why, to me, I would put my eggs more in the Lamar Jackson shit and keep Rodgers. And I would lie to Rodgers, make him seem like he's my number one priority the whole time. Dog, you a 1B right now, because I don't know if I'm going to have you beyond 1 year.
Yeah, that's the case, then go after Jimmy G then over him. Like, seriously. But no, listen, we talked about, like, listen,
I feel you. Like, I get it. All time great. But we literally have questions. All of us. You literally have to question. Is this guy motivated? Is this dude motivated? Can we legitimately say that this dude is still motivated to keep doing what he's doing?
So no, I can understand that.
I'm not even trying to be a deadbeat downer or anything. This is me, because of course, when New York winning, we all of us New Yorkers win, no matter who we rooting for. Of course. But it's still just the natural instinct of me. It was like, even if they get it, it's the same. It'd be like the same shit with Favre. Somehow, some way, something will go left.
Like he'll straight.
Niggas are 8-3. All of a sudden, he hurt his shoulder and 5 straight L's.
I'm gonna straight my bicep,
you know what I'm saying? and then of course the next year he leaves, go to Minnesota, and then go put 40 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, an NFC championship. That's why it was so beautiful that they lost. That they lost the way that they lost. He scrambled, threw across his body. I ain't gonna lie. I had fuck with Minnesota all the way up to that point. I'm like, damn, you were just on the Jets, like and your arm seemed shot after you got hurt, and then you just up and dipped and came and went to Minnesota. Now you got Adrian Peterson. You do all this shit. Now you're in the NFC Championship. And it's like, damn, look like y'all about to win. Fuck. When that interception happened, I was like, yes, poetic justice, poetic justice. Because I know for a fact after that, there's no way that you'll beat that team in that stadium.
So, keeping it in New York, big up real quick to, we've alluded to his name, right? Former New York Jet, Geno Smith. He signs a 3-year, $105 million contract, $35 million per year, $52 million up front. That's really a 1-year contract. That's really a 1-year contract.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When I saw 52 million 1 year, I said, damn, they really sized my dog. Basically just gave him an extended 1-year contract.
Now speaking of, like, so big up to Geno, but let's go back to Lamar for half a second. If Baltimore was smart, they go to Patrick Mahomes' route. He wants Deshaun Watson money. Just go to Deshaun. Just go to the Patrick Mahomes route.
Because I've never heard nothing about how much he wants per year. Never heard that.
He just wants more than Deshaun Watson.
guaranteed. So I'm like, okay.
Deshaun Watson
guaranteed.
Deshaun Watson got what? 234?
230 guaranteed. Okay, here's 240 guaranteed.
But
But we're gonna split it about 7 years.
Patrick Mahomes got 250 guaranteed, right?
I don't even think it was that much. Because remember, Deshaun Watson is the most guaranteed contract of all quarterbacks. And if
I know Patrick Mahomes got the 500 million.
And if I remember, I still think a whole bunch of other guys is still above Pat, from Russell Wilson to Kyler Murray. Oh God.
Oh God.
Lord have mercy.
So 10-year, 450 mil.
How much fully guaranteed? $141 million guaranteed. Boy. Ladies and gentlemen, just know the Kansas City Chiefs are about to become what the New England Patriots were. Them niggas not going nowhere. And mind you, the Super Bowl they just won, a lot of these dudes are on first year, second year.
You know what's gonna happen? Every 3 years, that contract's gonna be done. Pushed out a little bit more. Just to keep pushing that money back.
I tell you, man.
Sensational. So again,
life must be great as a Chiefs fan. I'll tell you this.
Like life is just good under Andy Reid. It really is. Life is just good under Andy Reid. If you had to play for any coach out there, if it ain't Mike Tomlin, you go play for Andy Reid. Like fuck it. Like I know you want to go play for Tom Brady, but Bill Belichick, but it ain't gonna be fun. Like at least Andy Reid and Mike Tomlin are fun. So I would just go to Geno. I mean, okay.
Lord,
now this
Kenny Pickett taking that.
Now this is even weirder now. See, go to Patrick Mahomes' route. Give him a 10-year deal. Give him $400 million and call 250 guaranteed.
Because mind you, Stephen A came out with something last week.
See,
I didn't even know. He said he talked to Lamar Jackson's camp. Lamar Jackson's camp called him and said they never said nothing about wanting a fully guaranteed contract.
And see, this is how you know shit is unscripted. That was my very next question, because that was gonna be my next. That was gonna because I didn't see that. But that was my next question. Like, because I'm curious now.
Guaranteed.
Unless he's just hell bent on just having a 6-year. 250 mil, whatever, 5-year, 250 million guaranteed contract, and he just give him more money than Deshaun Watson.
He said
it's like you know what? It's like they dumbified their own self. Like it's like they heard he wants to get paid more than Deshaun Watson. They heard Deshaun Watson and thought they just needed to give him a fully guaranteed contract with more money than him. I feel like they did it to themselves mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what you're thinking, and I'm negotiating, I'm not gonna tell you no. Keep working on
because it's all negotiation.
Because you throwing that shit out there. I haven't said a word yet. You're throwing that shit out there.
But
so if you're trying to find a way to give me a fully guaranteed contract closer to Deshaun Watson, then just make it happen. But I just want more money than him. And that's all that's ever come up.
But you jumping the gun thinking I'm saying I want a fully guaranteed contract that you ran and put that out there in the media. But then now you got Stephen A come out here talking about some that he literally said his camp called him and told him put that out there because they didn't trust going to the Ravens. Now, Grant, I ain't gonna lie, Baltimore Ravens, your organization as a whole. And granted, I'm not tripping on it because the demise of your organization just helps my just makes one less team I got to deal with.
Baltimore's normally
because I already got to deal with that monster in Cincinnati with Burrow and them niggas. So if I don't have to worry about y'all, please go ahead, demise yourselves. That's one less team to worry about.
Yeah, Baltimore is normally known for running the organization a lot better than
this. Shit wouldn't happen if Ozzy was running it.
But
probably the Ozzy Newsome.
Baltimore's number one issue is not quite the same issue that other teams are having, right? And I'm gonna explain what I mean. Baltimore should have signed them years ago. So again, this is one of the things when you weigh out.
As soon as the nigga won the MVP, I'm signing him right there.
So this is the times where you outsmart yourself. Where
Sign him right
I understand why. I understand there were some questions about Lamar Jackson, but by that time he should have answered enough for you to be smart enough to be like, if he at least keeps doing this, right? He doesn't have to even keep getting better. If he maintains where he's at now, we're gonna have to pay him some major money. So it's best to lock him up early versus late. And now they're suffering in the late. And now he's getting into Kirk Cousins territory.
After that MVP season, they could have gave him a contract that wouldn't have even touched $100 million guaranteed.
It would have been like 20-something million a year.
But they folded.
They could have got it with maybe 30 mil a year.
But they folded and played with themselves.
Listen to the media, or they listen to their fan base, and now they're about to end up with them, right? So, like I said, it's not the same situation everywhere.
The fans with them, because let me tell you something. They put that tag on them. Atlanta's on the phone immediately.
Now, like I said,
Lamar, don't do that though. Don't go to the Falcons, please.
I remember said this isn't the same problem that everybody quite had.
Like the Falcons on the mic.
Even though there's another team that's in a similar situation, the New York Giants. Now, the New York Giants, see, it kind of sucks for them too, but they were right not to give Daniel Jones that money early, right? Even though it would have been somewhere around the same thing. They could have got away with paying him like $22 million. And then this would have been, what is this, 2 years later? How long he's been in here? 3 years or 4 years now? 3. This is his third year?
He got drafted the year after Lamar did. Basically, Lamar's MVP season was his rookie year.
Okay, so this is his third season.
19, 20, 21, 22. He just finished his fourth season.
He just finished his fourth? Daniel? Yeah, see, they're not in the same situation as Baltimore. And that's the part that sucks. Because Daniel Jones didn't show them anything early enough to say, hey, let's lock you up now. Because if you keep doing this, you're at least going to cost us money in the future.
Right. Continue.
What do you mean what?
Continue. No, I said right. As in continue.
But he had that outburst of a season last year. Well, okay. I guess it was outburst may be the wrong verb.
What I say outburst?
But
15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 9-7-1 is an outburst.
He improved.
Thank you.
And with this system and this new regime, he looks like a
what?
Serviceable quarterback.
Serviceable. What would serviceable pay, Talon? What would serviceable pay, Talon? Tell me what serviceable would pay.
$37.5 million. 35 million. Well, 35 million is kind of he actually did good for 35. But serviceable was 37 and a half.
The one who got 35 touched. Would you mind searching up for me and tell me what his stats were?
That's why I did not. That's why I couldn't include Geno. I couldn't include Geno.
You know what? Because I knew you would do that whole shit.
I couldn't include. I'm not including Geno in this.
I'll do it for you.
Why are you including somebody that he's not part of the situation?
I'll do it for
because
you.
Because
the guy who got 3 years, $105 million, 35 mil per year. His stats was 4,282 yards passing, a quarterback rating of 100.9, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
I'm not including
but
Geno
yet Daniel Jones and his camp is out here crying and begging for $45 million a year.
So I wonder what happened with Geno Smith, right? Not Geno Smith, with Daniel Jones. And his camp, because he changed agents, right?
I'm about to call everybody I know.
So I'm curious what happened. I'm curious what happened here. Did Daniel Jones fire his agent because Daniel Jones wanted more money, and he thought he wanted more of that, so he went to an agent that he thought can get him more money?
The Giants should be laughing at this right now.
45 million. Bitch, you want the same shit as Patrick Mahomes? See, now that's unfair. Only because
No.
That's unfair.
Don't do that.
No.
Because you know also what as well? That's $2 million more than Josh Allen.
Okay, again, that's unfair.
15 touchdowns.
No. I know what you're saying.
5 interceptions.
To compare what he's asking for in comparison to what Josh Allen is getting and what Patrick Mahomes is getting is unfair. When they signed their contracts in a different time period, and also they signed when they signed their contract, they weren't signing their contract with a looming salary cap about to spike.
You know the combination of Mike White and Zach Wilson only got 14 touchdowns, right?
This is why the Jets need a quarterback.
Would you pay $45 million for that?
Combined? Yeah, 23 here. Yeah.
You don't even believe that. You don't even believe that.
I'll give one of them 22, another one 23.
So you give 2 quarterbacks. Wait a minute. I want to get this on record. You'll give 2 quarterbacks. Say it again.
22 mil.
And what about the other one?
To make up the 45. Yeah, 23 mil.
So you give 22 million to one quarterback, 23 mil to another quarterback.
That's backup money.
Yeah.
That's backup money.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've just heard White Talon cannot be a general manager in any sport.
If I got 2 quarterbacks, I would take 22 mil.
Your talk when it comes to how people should get paid should be stripped off that segment right there.
Listen, you're telling me you wouldn't like to have 2 quarterbacks on your team for $22 million? So you know one of them is injury prone?
Are you serious right now? You really gonna try to justify that to me right now?
That's nothing. $22 million?
Zach Wilson and Mike White?
22
$22 million each?
That's nothing. That's pocket change. That's backup.
Neither one of them even touched 10 touchdowns.
That's backup money. For quarterbacks?
Do you know what that can get you?
For a quarterback?
B, they got running backs out here getting franchise tag for $10 million.
I'm talking about quarterbacks here.
I don't give a fuck.
No. Listen to my quarterbacks.
No.
Because running back money is not the same as quarterback money. I'm sorry. No. Stop.
Bullshit.
Stop right now.
We're wasting.
You can't compare.
We're wasting $40 million on that garbage that was just in the New York Jets last year. $40 million on that. No, my bad.
Well, based off
$45 million on that garbage for the New York Jets.
Well, let me ask you this.
45 million.
Okay, tell me.
I could easily take 13 million and be like, yo.
Tell me right now.
Yo, Tony Pollard, come this way real quick.
I know what you're saying, but how much is Derek Carr's backup quarterback going to cost?
It's not costing no 20 mil.
It's going to cost like 8 mil.
8 mil for the backup quarterback?
How much are backup quarterbacks going for these days?
But my thing is, you would really want to pay 2 quarterbacks over $20 million.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm about to call Chillwell.
What I am saying is that it's better than if I'm gonna pay one mediocre quarterback 45 mil. I'd rather pay 2, 22.
See, it's times when you say crazy shit like this where I'm not even gonna waste my breath on you. I'm gonna let my bully come over here and violate you.
Again, you take things out of context. We
take it out of context.
Yes, you brought up
that
a particular
asinine.
You brought up a particular scenario.
Paying 2 quarterbacks over $20 million is crazy.
That's nothing.
Crazy.
It's nothing money.
Crazy.
Compared to what?
Crazy. Why would I pay 2 sorry ass quarterbacks $20 million a year?
How much are they making now?
Nothing. They don't deserve to make anything.
Let's see. What's Zach Wilson's? How much?
Now you want to search stats? When I said Geno Smith, you didn't want to search no stats.
I'm not searching stats. I'm looking up his contract. I didn't need Geno Smith's stats. Geno Smith wasn't a part of this conversation. When I said mediocre quarterback, I said, oh no, Geno Smith, I can't put him in there. But I can put this other guy that got 37 and a half.
Because this one would have shits on everything.
That's what I said. He doesn't qualify. But yet you kept on running with Geno Smith.
As I should, because it makes my point. What Geno Smith did right here, he got 35 mil. Daniel Jones wants 10 million more than that.
Geno Smith has also been a year.
My God.
Again, I understand what you're saying. You're not.
What has Daniel Jones done that's worth $45 million a year? You got people on TV literally saying Daniel Jones wants what?
No, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I understand.
There's nothing to understand. He is not worth $45 million per year.
Why would he not try to get it though?
See, no. Actually, no. Time out. Matter of fact, that's why the Jets were the Jets. Right there. We're paying $45 million to guys who don't deserve it. Right there.
That's
right.
What are we talking about? The Giants.
Jets. Well, that's what I'm saying. You're missing the point. That's what Jets do. You're trying to break that chain.
Okay.
Break that chain.
No, okay.
Break that chain.
You keep misunderstanding me. I'm not saying that he deserves that money. What I'm saying, I can understand him going for it. It makes sense. Again, everybody that you've mentioned, Geno Smith is old. Geno Smith has no future in this league. So nobody's going to sign Geno Smith to a 4 or 5 year contract.
So when you were talking about Dak Prescott being franchise tagged,
I didn't think they should have done it either. Again, I could understand it.
So why is the same energy not kept for Daniel Jones? What has Daniel Jones done?
Well,
that
was going to be my energy until we derailed, and I had to try to talk about something else. You brought me down this road about Daniel Jones.
You were not about to talk shit on
Daniel
Jones. Not the way that you talked about Dak Prescott. And granted, he deserves that just like that.
And again, when I talked about when I talked about Dak Prescott again, see, I take everything situational. You make these things broad and you try to compare because you try to because. I'm gonna tell you,
Dak Prescott had a season where he went out there and barely threw for 3,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. There's no way in hell anybody, neither you or me, would try to justify him getting paid $45 million. Not at all.
I still can understand him getting his current contract, but I understand.
And he done way more than that.
Again, timing matters, though. I understand timing. He's not worth it.
But on top of that, I just gave you 2 dudes. Both of these dudes, this dude right here
ain't worth it.
He ain't worth it, but he's done more than Daniel Jones has.
Okay.
Done more than Daniel Jones has.
But they're also in different parts in their career, and that matters. He's on.
That's why he got 3 years. And that's why he got 4.
This is his third contract, Derek Carr?
No, second.
He already did his rookie extension.
This is his second contract. That's why the Raiders let him go, so he doesn't get the third.
This is his second contract, 4 and 150, not his third contract.
He hasn't. Search him up.
How long has Derek Carr been in the league?
2015.
Did they franchise tag him 2 years in a row? So then this is his third contract. They've already extended him once.
But they waited a long time to do it.
Okay, so he got his rookie contract.
This is the second time that I've heard Derek Carr extended.
So when I say his third contract, like rookie contract got extended, and now this is his third contract.
Oh, well, then when you put it like that, then yeah.
Okay, that's okay. My bad. Let's make sure
you put it like that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking when they give you the money.
I just realized. Yeah. So this is the second time. Second time getting it back. This is Daniel Jones first. So okay.
And what has he done to justify
nothing?
$45 million.
Nothing except for, and this is what I was getting at, right? And this is the trap. See, again, if I could get there, maybe we could get there first.
Be quicker in stating it. Then.
No, that's okay. That's the reason why I do it this way. To get you guys all riled up.
So then don't get mad at me when I won't let you get the point out then.
You gotta let people
No.
go.
Shut the fuck up then. Don't get mad at me about not letting you get the point out then.
I'm not
I'm
mad.
mad.
You're the one that's mad.
I'm just mad.
I'm telling you that
you're the one talking about something. If you let me get the point out, well, damn it, get it out then. Motherfucker. Oh, Shaquille O'Neal ass nigga.
So, for Daniel Jones, right? And again, I don't think that Prescott should have got that money either. But timing is timing, right? They needed a quarterback, and he had him in a weird position. That's what happened with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones had an improving year last year. He didn't, for a year and a half now, he has not been the turnover-prone individual that he has been. He's taking care. He hasn't been. Remember, we had a drop about him. Damn, Dan, you turned over the ball again, Daniel. That was a thing. This whole entire year, it hasn't been a thing. I think it started actually even before that. It started sometime last year, on a year before that, halfway through that year. It's been about a good year and a half. This year wasn't supposed to be a winning season for the Giants. Jets neither. I don't think the Jets even got to their winning season, actually. They ended up going 7-9. But this season wasn't supposed to be a winning season for the Giants. This was supposed to be, they even called it, this was supposed to be a rebuild season. They called this in the media. Oh, we're going to take – they had no visions of making the playoffs. While it was was 3 parts that accounted for this. One part was better play from your quarterback. Did he have spectacular play? No. But when you're turning the ball over 2 times a game, right, and you have problems just completing drives, that's an improvement. It's not spectacular. It's not flashy. It's learning how to win. Improvement. Second part that played to it was your coaching, right? Like you hired a whole new staff that brought better schemes, better accountability. What's the word? I don't know, not courage, but yeah, he encouraged his team, right? He brought a level of stability to them. Also, the third thing that also played into the factor was also that schedule. The same light schedule that you accuse Philly of, that you accuse the Cowboys of having, Giants also benefited from the same thing. So he hit this weird perfect storm trifecta where now he's coming into his contract year. He feels like he's done better. I'm pretty sure the organization has put words in his head that makes it sound like he's done better and that they want to move forward with him. And he hears a number. I'm pretty sure the number he first heard was like 35 mil, right? Or 37 mil. Was like the first number that he ends up getting. He probably thinks it's low. Because overall, he's looking at the micro of it and not the macro. It's easy to say it's 2 more mil or it's the same money as Patrick Mahomes, or it's 2 more mil than whoever. Well, they didn't sign their contract in 2023 when the NFL's collective bargaining agreement and the salary cap is about to take a spike next year. I guarantee you, if Patrick Mahomes was signing this year, he'd probably be getting like a $75 million contract. Like it'll be something outrageous like that. So his timing put the Giants in a pickle. See, haven't said anything about him deserving any money so far. Talk about the situation that they're in. And the Giants got to figure out what they want to do. The Giants offered Daniel Jones a contract. They offered him a 4 or 5 year contract. It had a 3 somewhere in front of it. And Daniel Jones does not want a contract that doesn't have at least a 4.
Bye-bye, Daniel.
And that's everything that's being reported. So the Giants find themselves in the same situation as the Baltimore Ravens, but the answers are completely different. While you should have had Lamar Jackson signed 2 years ago
when he won his MVP.
Daniel Jones never gave you a reason to re-sign him. So now the fact that he caught this perfect storm, it just leaves you in an awkward position now.
It's not even a perfect storm. That's the problem.
Perfect storm? What? It was last year. And what's coming on this year?
That's the problem. I got quarterbacks who throw 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in 4 or 5 games. I watched Burrow do it. And at the end of the day, this is a real simple question. T, how much do you value division games?
They're valued.
How much do you value them?
I value them a lot. I like division games.
A lot? Okay, this is not to you. This is just spewing this out in the public. People, take a guess at what Daniel Jones's record in division games, including the playoffs, was last year.
6, 7, 2-5.
1-5-1.
I was close.
I'm gonna pay you $45 million a year to give me 1-5-1.
Yes.
0-3 against Philadelphia.
So,
Getting our ass kicked all 3 times. 0-2 against Dallas.
so now
1 win against Washington. 1 tie against Washington.
So now that we've actually gotten here and we're on the same
Like,
page now.
come on, man.
Now here comes
Fuck that.
now here comes the real question. Now you realize right now, because this is where I was trying to get to. The New York Giants are in the same boat as the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets combined.
And nobody's talking about it. They keep talking about Jets as if 1 year of 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions is, and that's the problem. This is how I know I'm somebody who goes against the grain. Everybody's talking about this, what the Jets need to do, and I'm like, these niggas is not in a much better predicament either.
So let me ask you this: what amount are you okay with giving Daniel Jones?
No more than Geno Smith.
$35 million a year.
I literally this dude went basically 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Okay.
When he was basically a cast off.
So I'm gonna tell you this.
So there's no way. Way.
So if you're willing,
because
okay. So I'm just gonna come up with this real quick. If you're willing to take me at 35, with the way the future of this money is going,
I still gotta pay my fucking running back.
Then give me 40.
No, fuck you. Go. Bye.
Then you're in a quarterback hunt. Then
I'll make trades. Go get me one in the draft, whatever. I would rather worry about trying to get my quarterback cheap.
No, you know what's gonna. No, you know what happens then? Now you franchise tag me and you lose him anyway.
Bye.
No, not me, not the quarterback. You lose Saquon.
No. I'm paying my running back. I'll pay Saquon. I at least have some type of record of work with this dude. We are crediting and clapping and applauding a quarterback. Understand this, people. We are crediting, clapping, and applauding a quarterback for throwing 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Actually, what I'm gonna tell you is that you're
game managing. We're about to pay 40 to 45 million for game managing.
I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong.
I'm
gonna tell you why you're wrong. I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm wrong.
And let me finish. Get this out.
Wrong.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
I'm wrong.
And you realize at the very end. Let me finish. If you're willing to pay Daniel Jones $35 million a year, based off inflation,
that's $10 million I saved.
Just listen to me. Based off inflation, you should be willing to pay him $40 million a year. Based off inflation, what you're really saying is that you don't want Daniel Jones at all. You should just let him walk. Period. Seriously. End of the day, you should just let Daniel Jones walk. If you're uncomfortable with 40, you're technically uncomfortable with 35. 35 this year is 40 million next year.
What is wrong with me as somebody who's cutting the check, looking someone in the face and say, my brother, thank you for finally showing that you can't turn the ball over. Granted, against Philly, you look like the old Daniel Jones, but hey, I'm not gonna use that too much against you because that defense has been hunting and making quarterbacks look average all year long. But you have to be shitting me if you think I'm coming off north of $40 million because you just finally played the quarterback position the way an average quarterback should play it.
Ultimately, what you're saying, you don't want Daniel Jones.
All I'm saying is, okay, you did that. Can I franchise tag you?
You can. You can franchise tag me and pay me the average amount that you get that quarterbacks are making. But you take a hard salary cap hit and you lose Saquon. You have no money to sign him. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Daniel Jones walk.
That's what I'm saying. In a very weird way, you don't realize it.
Walk.
The only reason why you're wrong is only because you don't realize you don't want Daniel Jones.
Yeah, don't want him.
Because if you can't, because you're saying 35. 35 is no different than 40. It really isn't.
Walk.
It's the $5 million per year
Walk.
is the same exact money when we talk about it.
Walk.
You just
walk.
If you don't want to,
because the same conversations that we had with Prescott, at least those fuckers were at least making it to the playoffs.
What the real question is,
and the issue was not at the quarterback position at the time.
Because forget the money.
He just finally showed this past year that he can be competent.
Okay, so
I'm not gonna pay you for finally showing that you can be competent.
So forget the money. It's time to re-sign Daniel Jones. Do you want this for 4 more years?
Do I want what for 4 more years?
Exactly. It's not the money. You really think it's the money? It's not really the money, because if you could convince yourself for 35.
Explain what I'm getting for the next 4 years.
Daniel Jones.
What am I getting for? Am I getting what I just got this past year?
What have you gotten from Daniel Jones to make you see? As I said, forget the money.
Am I getting what I just got this past year?
I have no clue what you're getting from Daniel Jones.
I'm asking you a direct question. Stop bullshitting me. I'm asking you, am I getting what I just got this past year?
You're going to get a 10% improvement in yards, in touchdowns, and a 10% decline in turnovers.
You got to give me some numbers, yo. Like,
what was the numbers?
I just told you. It was 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Okay, so a 10% increase. You're going to get 17 touchdowns next year.
He barely threw for 3,000 yards.
So now you're going to get 3,500 yards.
3,500 yards.
17 touchdowns. It's a slight improvement, just inclining. So, like I said, forget about the money. It's time for you to re-sign your quarterback.
No.
Do you want this for 4 more years?
No.
That is never about the money.
You gotta go there.
So it had nothing to do with 35 million. That's why I said you were wrong. You just didn't want Daniel Jones. It had nothing to do with 35 versus 40. Because honestly, if you could convince yourself to give somebody $35 million and be able to look ahead and to see that,
here's where it really is. If I have to think about it to this degree, you're not worth it.
Then you don't exactly.
If I have to think about it to this degree, you're not worth it.
And
because guys who are worth it, I should have to second guess. It's like Jalen Hurts right now. Jalen Hurts coming to me for 45 million. Here.
Taking my money. You taking my money.
The only hesitation I would give is like, hey, I mean, do you really want 45? I mean,
I can give you more.
I can either give you more, or like, we could Patrick Mahomes this shit. So, we're competing for Super Bowls for a good minute now. Like Burrow, here. So take it. We've been around the world, and I think we fully understand each other now with this whole. Think about it. Because listen, the Jets and the Giants are in the same situation. They both need a quarterback. They just focusing on the Jets so much. That's what's blowing me. I'm like, because y'all don't understand how the Giants are in the same predicament. Because the Jets were the only ones tied to Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers had tied himself to the Giants, or there was rumors about Aaron Rodgers and the Giants, it would have been the Giants. It's not so much about the Jets; it's about Aaron Rodgers. So they're still talking about the Giants needing, because listen. So now, because it's just not so, because the story of the Giants needing a quarterback is out there. It just doesn't have the spicy meatball of Aaron. So here. But they all low key in the same predicament and in the market for all of the same quarterbacks, because they keep saying Aaron Rodgers want to go to New York. I haven't heard him say the Jets. I just heard New York. That's what I'm low key getting at. And what was it? What was it? The prediction that I said at one point that freaking Rodgers will be playing for the Giants or some shit. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae will be in New York. Giants. You said next year, but. That was. I'll take 2 years. That's fine. That was up there. But because it's just like Devontae Adams could have asked for a trade after all this, so he could go be with his boy again.
since he only came there to be with Derek Carr, who just left.
him.
Hey,
So it's like,
yo,
come on.
you can get that one right too. But that one is crazy though.
It's just like everything's about the Jets. Granted, if I'm Rodgers, you put the gun to my head, you make me choose between the two New York teams, Jets or Giants. I'm gonna go Giants because I at least know
the organization. But that team,
it's not even often. Well, don't even say team, because all I know is one of those two teams made the playoffs, the other one didn't. One of those two teams was playing on the divisional round. That's all.
He said that shit with a straight face too.
That's all.
Like it was a big statement.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
the Jets and their roster. Man, them bitches was home.
Listen, let's do a little.
The Giants was playing when the Jets was wishing.
No, it's only because their best player got injured. You guys didn't lose your best player. It's okay though. So let's do a little round the league.
So Breece Hall.
Breece Hall is our best player. He established that immediately. He was our best offensive player on that team.
Okay, congratulations. And now you just had incompetent quarterback play.
He would have won. He probably would have. It wouldn't have been. Sauce. Oh, not Sauce. God damn it. Wilson. It wouldn't have been Garrett Wilson, that one AP player, offensive rookie. That would have been Garrett. That would have been Breece Hall, and he probably would have ended up flat out winning Rookie of the Year. We would have had 3 Rookie of the Year candidates on our team that year.
I also got about 3 more wins that the New York Giants would have had if they had better quarterback play. But
you had all your players though. I mean, we could have had better. I mean, I could say that too about the Giants. Well, we could have won more games if we had better quarterback play. We had our quarterback. We just didn't have our best player.
Injury is part of the game, dog.
I understand. Well, quarterback struggling is a part of the game, dog.
Quarterbacks, but you about to pay $45 million for those quarterback struggles?
I'm not the one that has to do that. Okay. let's do a little round the horn with 305 in my city, right? You about to bounce?
I gotta take this call. It is almost midnight.
I do. I just looked at the top. I was like, God damn. First 2 hours flew. So let's do a little around the whole 305 of my city. You know, we get it. And what that is, that's not 305 of my city. That's 305 of your city. That's why it's called 305 of my city. Because I'm in the 305. We going to your city, right? Which is sometimes my other city, but sometimes it's your city. We just gonna go ahead and hit the city. We had a couple of big games. Right? I don't know if you guys caught everything that happened around the weekend. All right, you had Golden State Warriors at Los Angeles, right, taking on the Lakers. That happened over the weekend. This game, we end up finding out LeBron James, he's good. He is not playing. He's continuing to be out. It's now moved from 1 week to 2 weeks. I was joking. It's moved from 2 weeks to now 3 weeks to I think I've now seen he's out indefinitely. So basically, I think they just gotten to a point where they don't want to keep giving a timeline because when you give a timeline, then those timelines come with questions and pseudo expectations. And levels of stress because constantly now, when that 2 week time frame happens, then there's questions that have to be answered and asked, right? And then you have to be like, oh, listen, I don't know, I know this, blah, blah, and out indefinitely. What that allows them to do is it allows them to function now and allow him to heal up without them having to constantly worried about being asked about it and over already more than they're already going to be. So the Golden State Warriors, they end up taking on the LA Lakers. Lakers end up beating them that game, 113-105. This was a good game this was a really good game for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis really showed up and showed out. He really did. He really showed up and showed out in this game. Just talking about when Anthony Davis is right. When Anthony Davis is being that dude, right? When Anthony Davis is acting like he is him, he reminds us of why we thought that he could have been one of the best big men in the game ever. Because it was always that if he could put all of that together, I know that's funny, right? if he could ever put all of that together for a 15-year career consistently, he probably would have been. But unfortunately, all we do is now we get these flashes. And last night was one of those flashes. And it's one of those flashes that you needed too, right? It's a new look Lakers. LeBron James isn't there. You're fighting to get into the play-in tournament. For the third straight season, the Knicks are better than you, right? So all of that is being compounded on your shoulders. And you think to yourself, you know what? We're playing the Golden State Warriors. It's Stephen Curry's first game back. He drops 27. It's supposed to be his coming out pool party, right? And you take that victory from them. And it was a feel-good story. It was a feel-good story around. Like, because not only did Anthony Davis ball to the point where he ended up getting the dub, but also Steph Curry ended up, even on limited minutes, supposedly limited minutes, right? End up having a really great game anyway. So from a fan standpoint, if you're not rooting for any one of those teams, you got a really good game. Like you got a hell of a game. You got a hell of a reward. For the Golden State Warriors, what?
A hell of a game. Come on, man.
It was a good game.
It was okay. The game before that was a game.
Listen,
that was a hell of a game.
Listen,
that's exactly what I want when I watch NBA hoops.
Listen, Golden State Warriors versus. Listen, Golden State Warriors versus
best players showing out on each side, high scoring, down to the last minute, last second, clutch shooting.
And then we also had go a little 305 to my city. Like I said, let's take a little trip from LA over to Dallas. Right, hop on the PJ real quick, and also let's say Anthony Davis. How many points? I figure how many points did he have that game?
39.
He had 39. He just missed getting inside the club. He was in line though, but you know you got to get that 40. You got to get the 40 and the dub.
You just out here hoping somebody had a 60 piece and can offer you a point.
Yeah, like you can't let me in, dog. Like I had a double. I'm like, triple maybe.
Somebody can pass you a shot outside the club. You know what I'm saying?
Like how you hate it from outside the club? You can't even get it. Like, all right. So we had Phoenix and Dallas. That game was supposed to be the reunion of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and those guys barely spoke to each other.
Barely. What?
Yo, did they even do the?
Barely. They didn't do shit.
Did they even give the "what's up, nigga" nod to each other? Like,
nothing. Not a thing. Not a thing.
Like talking about ice cold in the city of the sun. Well, it was in Dallas.
Not for nothing.
Talk to me.
This is completely different. Only because I got my raw papers at the crib. Like not for nothing. Pause. I'm like, yo. When I took the one from Sharky's one day, I said, yo, how did they get team wallpapers be like? I'm like, is this nigga getting a different type of wallpapers than I'm getting?
No, do you? You didn't realize it, did you? I thought you knew this already.
Son, I got these shits just like this. These are the shits that I got.
The cones.
Yeah, I got these exact shits in my crib.
But
I'm thinking like, yo, am I doing this shit wrong? Like, cause I'm like, yo, for one, like, it's like the cone is like more on point.
Is the way I'm packing them?
I'm gonna figure it out. Have to, cause I be like, yo.
I told you, these are the new cones now for the podcast.
Cause I be like, yo, I be stuffing. Listen, I be stuffing and then pushing and then using a little cone thing to push the weed.
These are the new
ones
down. Now. Inflation.
Word.
I told these niggas like, yo, like that tip jar started getting a little too low. That's the 6-shooter.
Jesus. Oh,
so you can stuff 6 at a time. Very specifically though for the slim joints though, which I'm barely gonna be using anymore. Now that I'm switching over to these. I'm start getting that one for myself. All right, so Phoenix and Dallas, right?
Shout
so
out to inflation.
For real. You know, because you know what they say.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. He's certified.
I had to leave that one in there. He's certified. Why New Yorkers always go like at the end of some shit? They always go old Italian gangster. He's certified.
My brother.
So Phoenix goes into Dallas to take on the Mavericks, right? This is the reunion of Devin Booker, not Devin Booker. This is the reunion of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Kevin Durant did his thing, dropped 37. Luka dropped 34 in this game, and even though the story coming into this was supposed to be Kevin Durant and Kyrie, it ended up being Luka Doncic and Devin Booker going meet to meet. As I said, like, they've had a little budding rivalry some time now, haven't they? Sacramento whooping that ass. 18-point lead.
Granted, I don't know why Luka wasted his time responding to Devin Booker. All you gotta say is, how was last made for you?
He did have the upper hand.
How was last made for you on your home court when you was getting that ass busted by 30 at halftime in Game 7? Like, that must have stung. Like, that shit is whatever. But the Kyrie KD part of it, honestly, I didn't even think about it till I actually realized they were both on the court. I was like, oh shit. Oh yeah, they are playing against it. Because I didn't care. I was watching a game, like if it was a real bad fallout, or like, you know, if they actually really had time together like that, like real substantial.
They had 4 years together.
Case in point. Case in point.
No, I know. I guess.
So it's like,
but also, like, the fact that they didn't even do like a little handshake or hug each other. You know what I mean? Because Kyrie normally goes up to all of his old teammates. He has so much love for all of his old. Not Kev.
I really didn't care because clearly, like, you weren't there. He playing, you not playing. You playing, he not playing. So it's like, yeah, y'all on the same team, but it's like y'all Martin and Gina in the last year and a half of Martin. They out here, y'all making shows, but y'all making sure when Gina on set, Martin is nowhere to be found. Martin on set, Gina nowhere to be found. That's what the KD Kyrie shit was like.
All about that little scandal. No, true. So before the Knicks bing bonged all over Boston twice last week,
I can't even stay that long. I stay that long, you're gonna have me getting cussed out.
Brooklyn first beat them.
Shout out to fucking Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn though.
After they were down too,
because they could.
I forgot what that score was.
Because them motherfuckers could have completely folded. Mikal Bridges, that he's gonna be an all-star in the Eastern Conference very, very soon, if not next year.
What was it? I have a picture of it in here somewhere, because I know I couldn't believe it. It was.
I just respect what I'm seeing from Mikal and whatnot, and if anything, all it does is make me question. Well, damn, how come Mikal wasn't getting more opportunities to score?
There it goes.
Oh shit!
The Nets complete the largest comeback of the season. They were down 51-23 to the Celtics with 7 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in the second. They end up winning that game in regulation, 115-105.
That's a 38-point turnover.
Jesus. Think about it, they still allowed them 50-something plus points, but
the crazy shit is all I think about, and it's mainly because of watching Mikal Bridges, is like, damn, like he couldn't get more shots in Phoenix. That's all I think about. He couldn't get more shots in Phoenix.
But you see that sometimes, like Jaylen Brown leaving Dallas. Like we saw sparks of Jaylen Brown when Jalen Brunson. When Luka was out.
I kid you, to be real, I saw more of Jalen Brunson in Dallas with Luka than I saw of Mikal Bridges in Phoenix. I didn't
notice Jaylen Brown until Luka was injured.
No, I noticed him. And the only reason I say this is because you think of some of those games that Phoenix was in that they lost, that could have turned up. But it's like you see Mikal doing what he's doing now. It's like, bro, I'm watching this dude jack up 23, 24 shots with no problem. Because the thing is, the stigma of everything. The whole time I'm thinking Mikal got like, you know, no handle, no one-on-one game, acting like and then I'm watching him and then I caught flashes of Villanova days. I'm like, wait a minute. Mikal had this bag over in Villanova, man.
Desmond Bane too. You seen how he looked without. Did he drop 51? Wait, how much did Desmond Bane drop the other night? 30 he dropped. Okay. See, okay, what I was about to say.
it's just like, you know, you just wonder, like, everybody's got their talent, good talent, just chilling and whatnot. It's just like,
you know what I mean? Realize Luka can't keep getting passes for too much longer. I'm just realizing he had Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson on his team.
Jokic. If before you go to Luka, you have to knock down Jokic down first.
They both gonna be coming down pretty soon. They may be a year apart from each other.
Luka, the only reason I let him rock is because most of the teams that he lost to, it's like, well,
okay,
all right. Warriors, all right.
Okay.
Clippers year before, PG, Kawhi healthy, nobody else on your team, 7 games. All right.
Okay. We'll give him the Golden State Warriors. Like I said, it was. Like I said, I'm just looking at Spencer. I know what Spencer did, what he did in Brooklyn before he went to Dallas, and then looking what Jalen Brunson has done in Dallas after he's left. I'm like, damn, you had both of them, and y'all telling me y'all both couldn't be 3 ball creators all the goddamn time?
Hey, eventually,
Jalen Brunson 6'1", Spencer Dinwiddie is 6'6".
See, here's the thing, and if anything, this is where you get Luka. You know, granted, right now it's your show, but right now he's in the process of you have to keep getting your head beat in before you really understand, like, yo, like, before you really step back and like, yo, oh shit, I had Spencer at one point. I had Jalen at one point.
I had Kyrie.
I was literally starting in the backcourt with Jalen or with Spencer, and the other one's coming off the bench. Damn, I could have stepped back a little bit more. So this is the stage that he's at. He's at the stage right now where he just got to get his head beat in.
Those early Jordan scoring stages, the early Carmelo Anthony scoring stages, the early
LeBron.
Well, I don't know. Stop. I gotta pause. I have to take back Carmelo Anthony because I was gonna go down the road that those guys shouldn't be in. When I'm gonna say names like Jordan and shit like that, but I guess we can talk about Luka. Yeah. I guess we could come down the scale. Okay, early Jordan's stages, early Carmelo Anthony stages, early James Harden stages,
early Giannis. Because remember, before they got that shit, there was you saw how teams was playing then. Put that wall up, can't do nothing else. Because you can't drive to the basket, you can't do this, you can't do that. You had no shooting game. You still kind of have no shooting game. You just found ways to maneuver around that. Really, what it is. It's really what it is.
Listen, he just made his 3-point shot more respectable than Russell Westbrook's.
Listen, at the end of the day, all the great players, you gotta somehow, some way, you gotta find a way. Jokic, your thing that you need to figure out is how to, in playoff games, to not be. When team that was my thing with Jokic. I can't have my 2-time MVP literally being told
the defensive liability,
literally to the point where it's clear as day as a fan where I'm like, that team is literally saying, yo, let's get him in defensive rotation and see.
Yeah, put him in pick and roll, or put him on defense and get him out the game.
If I'm Jokic, I'm doing defensive slides and conditioning all summer. I don't need to work on nothing else.
He's the perfect example of make the other team star play defense. That's it. That's why if you're gonna have somebody
struggle. That's why I struggle seeing Denver going to the conference finals, because I'm like, God forbid they see the Clippers. God forbid they see Phoenix. God
they could beat the Clippers.
No, I don't even think so.
They beat them last time
in a playoff game series.
They did.
Well, Ty Lue wasn't coaching for them at that point. It was Doc Rivers.
Fair enough.
It was Doc Rivers.
Damn, Doc. Yeah, fair enough. Doc is losing on that rep.
But it's just like
he need to do something with Philly.
Experienced coaching. God forbid they see the Clippers, the Warriors, or Phoenix. They see one of those 3 teams before the conference finals. I don't know.
Can I say this before you leave?
What's up?
You know when you kept on saying to me that the Knicks could possibly get that 4 seed, right?
Oh, that's
right. And I kept on downplaying that 4 seed because I'm like, listen, let's just be okay where we're at, and then we'll just see where we end up. You know how I wouldn't talk about that 4 seed? I am going to talk about that 3rd seed, though. That shit.
I was just about to tell you, like, the 3rd seed ain't out of the question at this point.
We're a game I think it was either a game behind or a game. Cleveland just took an L tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they won because
No. They beat. Did they beat Boston? They came back.
Tatum didn't play for 1. 2, Boston was at the free throw line.
They came back.
Boston was at the free throw line with a chance to knock down 2 free throws. All they needed was 1 free throw to win.
In overtime? Again?
Donovan Mitchell went to Grant Williams and basically Scottie Pippen Karl Malone him. Talked to him and he choked and missed both.
Double fucking overtime!
Listen, I'm laughing because it's Boston. Inside, I'm a little upset
because
it's
I
Cleveland.
Needed that L.
I
needed that L.
I
needed that L.
I can take that.
God damn it, Boston.
Especially since Philly won now.
So I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, really, Boston? You that petty, huh? You that petty? We beat your ass last night. Now you have to be petty.
And I started watching that game too, and I was like, okay, Boston, go ahead and give me and come. Is this 3 straight losses for Boston?
Sure is.
Brooklyn, Knicks, and now Cavs.
Sure is.
Ooh. Go ahead, Philly. Picked Philly to win the East. Let's see if you heard that before he left. The other game that we had on, right? Let's go around the city a little bit. Go around the league. We had can I get some around the league music? Just a little Saturday too. We got none of that. Okay, fine. Okay. We had the Clippers visiting Sacramento, and if you've watched the last 2 games that the Sacramento Clippers and the LA Clippers and the Sacramento Kings have played, you have not been disappointed. This is not a 3rd matchup they've had in recent time, right? And every single game has been a banger. And I feel like every single game has come down to the wire. This game was no different. This game ends up being 128 to 127 for the Kings, if I'm not mistaken. I know, I got lost. Where is this at? There we go. I think the Kings won that game. Yeah, they won that game by 1 point. I had it in a weird order. I had it in the order that said that the Clippers may have won that game. I'm like, wait a minute. I could have swore the Kings won that. That game, De'Aaron Fox went off for 33. Paul George had 28. It just sucks right now that we probably won't get a first-round matchup between the Kings and the Clippers. I would like to see a 7-game series between those two teams. Like dead ass. I would love to see. Okay, damn. The only thing on right now is the Sacramento game, and the Sacramento is this game isn't over yet. They're whooping New Orleans right now by like 20. It's midnight. Philly end up losing to Milwaukee. No, Philly end up beating Milwaukee 133-130. They end Milwaukee's what were they on, like a 16-game winning streak? So Philly won the other night and they won tonight as well. I ain't gonna lie. I bet on Philly to win their conference, to win the East. I really did. Even though you just heard me say that, we can catch Philly, I low-key bet on Philly to win the conference. So these next couple of games, while I'm trying, listen, Knicks fans, Knicks fans, listen to me. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting. The end of this season, it already was interesting. It already had its ups and downs. But with the New York Knicks being the hottest team in the league, right? And I'm not saying that with hyperbole. Like, they are currently on a 9-game winning streak. There isn't a team winning or losing more than they are. Right now, the Detroit Pistons are the second hottest team in the league with 8 straight L's. Listen, you can even be hot. You can even the coldest team in the league, but they do have the second longest streak. He just missed the Knicks talk too. How much time we got left in the pod? I have absolutely no clue. We got about 15 minutes. Okay. The New York Knicks this week, though. The New York Knicks this week. They pulled out all the stops. You know what happened. Double fucking overtime. It felt like the beginning of the season 2 years all over again. It really did. It felt like the beginning of it. It felt like it all over again. Playing, and I really was gonna bet that this game into overtime too. The odds on that was pretty decent. But the New York Knicks had basically what was a rivalry week. They played Boston to start off the week. Then they went into Brooklyn. They played Brooklyn, went into Brooklyn, had them cheering for the New York Knicks, went into Miami, had them cheering had that crowd cheering for the New York Knicks, came back to Boston. So they beat Miami 122. My bad. I'm not doing this any justice. Let's really do some 305 to my city. The New York Knicks played the Miami Heat. Was that Friday night? I think it was Friday night. I think we were on the air. Thank you. Yo, my phone has no chill. Yeah, it was Friday night. We were on the air. Julius Randle made an appearance into the club. We'll talk about everybody that made it into the club. Made it to the club on Friday. We could take everybody from Friday to Friday. So every Friday, right, we're gonna open up the club doors for everybody that bowled out for the whole entire week. Mondays, a little bit of around the horn, right? With a little 305 to my city. Where we take a peek and we're gonna take a peek into some of these interesting games around the league. You know, Wednesday is trivia, MyT trivia. You know how that goes. You pick a number, I ask a question, you get it right, you win a prize. We're gonna try a new format this Wednesday. We may have 5 rounds of trivia this Wednesday. 5 rounds of trivia this Wednesday. We're gonna see how many users are listening. So the Knicks played the Miami Heat on Friday. And I thought that was the most satisfying win of the season. And it was very much in the running. It may also be in the running for a shot of the year. As this game is going back and forth, the Knicks are winning, the Knicks are losing. All right. They're winning, they're winning late. Jimmy Butler strips away a rebound. Tyler Hero gets a steal and an easy layup. Julius Randle is getting the ball back up in the half court. Time is running out. Jimmy Butler is on him. Jimmy Butler knocks the ball away. Julius Randle recovers it. He starts dribbling. He's outside the 3-point line. Tyler Hero comes over to help. Julius Randle hits a fadeaway 3-point shot and bang. Bang. He got the double bang. Winner, chicken dinner. New York Knicks 122-120 over to Miami. And can I tell you, I was so ready to cuss out Julius Randle. I was so ready to cuss out Julius Randle right there. Like, yo, you got to give the ball up. You got two people on you. Why are you forcing this shot? And I could already hear the narrative, and it said like, "Yo, we're on the road, like you play to win." I could already hear it. Yeah, there was just the voices in my head. Yeah, they was just talking to me. Like I said, Julius Randle ends up with 43 that night. Now, the only downside, right, to that game is that the New York Knicks lost Jalen Brunson after the game. The next game after that, the New York Knicks will end up the Boston Celtics, and that'll end up being Sunday. And now their lead is at 8 points, right? It's at 8 games. Now, in Miami, there also was a controversial call of a Tyler Hero out of bounds play, which I thought was out of bounds, but it looks like I got a different angle on it, and it wasn't out of bounds. But you know, like I got an angle afterwards, and I don't know if that angle was doctored by a Heat fan, because I could have sworn when I seen this here, I was like, oh yeah, he out. I was like, yeah, look, yeah, he out. But you know, you never know. So the New York Knicks coming to the Boston game, and similar to the first game against Boston, right, in that week, where Boston didn't have Jalen Brunson. Well, this time around, New York Knicks didn't have Jalen Brown. And I said that backwards. Boston didn't have Jalen Brown, and the New York Knicks this time didn't have Jalen Brunson, which forced Emmanuel Quickly to come off the bench and start for us. And we got the most inspiring play that I think the Knicks have that we've gotten in God knows. This was up there with the Derrick Rose, Minnesota, I just want a ball game. Like, it was that inspiring, because if you're a Knicks fan, you've been rooting for, let's get here. Right, if you're a Knicks fan, you've been rooting for Emmanuel Quickly, obviously, since day one. We've heard Emmanuel Quickly name brought up in various trade talks over the last couple of years. And even here, the New York Knicks say, like, hey, you know what? We don't want to trade Emmanuel Quickly. We've seen the growth. And if we can, we'll like to keep him. Emmanuel Quickly was never, even though he was improving, wasn't quite thought of the person that could take the reins of the point guard duties quite yet. Really looked at more of a two guard than really a point guard. Well, I think he decided that he wanted to put all that to rest in this starting opportunity. Now, as you see in Zion Williamson on the bench getting fatter by the moment, you can literally see the fat building on his face. He looked like drunk. Like they got my ass here this goddamn game. Watch this bullshit. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be and shit. These niggas. Huh? Look at him, yo. Like, you see, got a little 5 o'clock shadow coming in, like. Just trying to get to the strip club and see some titties. But let's be for real. Let's be honest. Let's be for real. So now this time around, you see Emmanuel Quickly in, And I don't think Emmanuel Quickly was ever thought of the guy that can take over the reins for the starting point guard. Part of the reason why Jalen Brunson was brought into this team. Emmanuel Quickly even started off kind of slow to begin this season, right? Had a lot of people doubting him, especially when they were giving him minutes over Derrick Rose and not understanding why Emmanuel Quickly was still, because even though he might have not have been scoring well, his plus minus and all of his other metrics were better than was double the amount of Derrick Rose's on any given game. Derrick Rose was playing pretty okay, but as a defensive liability, on a defensive liability, yes, he was good on offense and helping things continue to flow, but he wasn't helping stop anybody. So it was a little bit too much back and forth sometimes. I just seen Teresa Weatherspoon as an assistant coach for the New Orleans Pelicans. I remember Teresa Weatherspoon playing. This was a game for Emmanuel Quickly to show out, right? As he was one of 2 Knicks players to put up over 50 minutes or to play over 50 minutes this game. Yes, double fucking overtime. Emmanuel Quickly didn't just play 55 minutes. He also had 8 rebounds and 7 assists to go along with 4 steals and 2 blocks in this game, with only 1 turnover. And he put up a team-high 38 points. RJ Barrett will match his energy as Julius Randle had a good game too. Like, this was a game actually for kind of all 3 of them. One of the few games where you see all guys really chip in, but they had to with no Jalen Brunson, right? Everybody had to do just a little bit more and also show, like, listen, what we just saw was the New York Knicks before Jalen Brunson. What if people had it their way from their rookie season? This is how the Knicks probably would have looked. Emmanuel Quickly, Grimes, RJ Barrett, Robinson. It just wouldn't have had Julius Randle. It would have had Obi Toppin instead, who came off the bench and gave us 6 points in 11 minutes. Josh Hart played 40 minutes, ended up getting 10 points on 3 for 5 shooting, but also added 8 rebounds to the game as well. Back to Emmanuel Quickly, right? He was really the star of the night. He was truly the star of the night. When the New York Knicks were trailing, right, somewhere around like the third quarter, so trailing by about 10 points, Emmanuel Quickly railed off 7 points by himself. We're talking about grabbing a rebound and taking it coast to coast. Before then, making a 3-pointer. Before that, making a 3-pointer, right? Like, this is what Emmanuel Quickly is doing, and that's him now. Oh yeah, he is him. Emmanuel Quickly. Right, that's what we're gonna call him now. Like, I'm sorry. I think he's earned it. And if you don't think he's earned it, then on you. 30 seconds left to go in this game. Sacramento is going to end up winning this game 121-105, it looks like. So, right, so this game against Boston, you'll see Emmanuel Quickly when it looked like the Knicks were just about to get crushed. Emmanuel Quickly was the one that had that second win. And I mean second win, third win, fourth win, fifth win, sixth win, seventh win, eighth win. He was tireless. Emmanuel Quickly. And this was right around the time where RJ Barrett and even Julius Randle was cooking for a while. But you can see their shots start to get a little bit flat, right? Mitchell Robinson was getting baited into helping down low and leaving Al Horford on the wing to get a couple of open threes. So Emmanuel Quickly's burst was not it was just timely, I guess. Where Emmanuel quickly burst. It just wasn't just points; it was timely points, and it was an injection of energy into the whole entire Knicks team that helped carry over. Right next to you see Emmanuel quickly also getting steals. You see him coming in, help getting blocks at the rim. At the rim. Julius Randle falling for Marcus Smart's dirty tricks. Like, seriously, like, how am I supposed to create? A player is not supposed to be able to get into my space so much that I can't elevate. And if that's so, that's not a foul on me. That's a foul on them. They're crowding my natural shooting motion. I'm sorry. Last I checked, that was a foul. So, like I said, like Julius Randle just kept on getting caught up by Marcus Smart's tricks and tactics. Like I said, Boston Celtics fully healthy, and both teams worked for this. This was a double overtime. Both teams worked for this. At the end of both regulations, nobody wanted this game. Like, you understand? Like, nobody wanted to lose this game. You saw Julius Randle at the end of the first quarter, at the end of the first end of regulation, takes the same shot that he basically took in Miami. Now, Julius Randle, not only was Julius Randle was very frustrated in this game. I know he ended up putting up 31 points or however many it was, but Julius Randle was super frustrated in this game because Julius Randle, he single-handedly almost lost this game for the simple fact that they kept on. We know Julius Randle's tendencies, and they kept on blitzing his tendencies. Julius Randle dribble, spin move. Every time he went to go do that spin move, and he turned his back, another defender would come around. So when he pump faked or try to do another spin, there's somebody there. He must have made 3 turnovers alone on that. And honestly, I may be saying 3 and I may be downplaying. I feel like it was 5 because it was 1 too many. Luckily for him, as I'm getting ready to cuss Julius Randle out again for a second game, he ends up hitting a clutch shot. And that's what gets us into overtime. Once into overtime, we will have more of the same. A little bit of back and forth, a little bit of Monica by my side, right? A little bit of Veronica, who's who I like. You know what I mean? A little bit of Nikki is all I need, right? Like all of that. Really, what I'm trying to say is that Emmanuel quickly popped up again and started making shots and hitting buckets. Julius Randle again is in overtime. He's still making the mistakes of having his spin move blitz. By double overtime, you saw him make a slight adjustment and started to try to get that pass out of there a little bit sooner. So I'm gonna let you guys know now on March 7th. The thing I'm gonna be worried about in the playoffs is gonna be Julius Randle and his dribble, spin move, pump, and next thing you know, there's another guy on his shoulder. Because if he doesn't realize, right, after the and granted, I know that sometimes that there's just tactics that, hey, after the first time, you just want to show it to him, and then you never give it to him, and you never go again. If it's just enough to make him hesitate when he comes out of there, then hey. But he's gonna have to try to find a way to recognize that double team, because they are always finding a way to, as soon as he turns his back, because he always turns his back to the entire defense when he does that little spin move, and he loses sight of everybody on court, because at this point in time he's just focused on the rim. Yeah, he's got to make an adjustment for that, or else that's gonna be what becomes the New York Knicks' demise in the playoffs, and that's what's gonna end up causing the New York Knicks to lose their first round matchup against Cleveland. Yeah. Well, let's not take away from what Emmanuel quickly did. 9 straight wins he just led us to. 9 straight wins. And like I said, I thought the Miami Heat game was the most satisfying win we've had all year. Au contraire, mon frère. Oh, No, no, no. No, 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 no. The most rewarding win this season has been
overtime.
because I get to play all these.
Where the bread at, Tom Brady? I need some bread, nigga. He older. Yo, you know Trey Young was still good? Yo, you know Trey Young was still good, bro? Fuck Trey Young. Fuck Trey Young. Fuck Trey Young. Fuck Trey Young.
Oh, man.
Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Don't you regret not coming to the Knicks?
Like, seriously.
What the fuck, baby? Fuck Trey Young. Fuck Trey Young. Fuck Trey Young. Fuck Trey Young. And you know what? Tom Brady's a fucking bitch. Tom Brady's a fucking bitch. New York is fucking back.
And one more time. Oh, man. That's the only reason I'm happy. That's the only reason I'm happy so happy about this Knicks win, especially as it comes to Boston. Like, I can literally hear the Bing Bong Boys right in my head right after that victory. And I almost feel like the majority of the night, all I can hear was Bing Bong, New York is fucking back, baby. Oh man, that's all I could hear in my head all day long. Every time I thought about this game, that's all I can hear. And I'm surprised this hasn't. Okay. We'll see how much time I have left. I thought I was going to be out of time already. What time did I start the podcast today? We'll see. But that's 9 straight wins. Next game that we have is going to be tomorrow night against Charlotte. And then after that, it's going to be Thursday night. That's supposed to be against Sacramento. Now that game has been picked up for national television. So there you go again, Knicks. And granted, that's part of the reason why we have one of the hardest schedules remaining in the year is because at this point of the season, we're playing against the majority of the good teams and the teams that people will want to go see. Right? So what ends up happening is that now, not just us. Listen, the Clippers are in the same boat. The Kings are in the same boat, and now we both play each other. Our whole entire Atlantic division is in the same boat. Remember, we went over this: Philly, Brooklyn, Toronto, Knicks in Boston, right? Along with the Clippers, the Kings, and the Clippers, the Kings, and Phoenix, because it's not Golden State, it's not the Lakers. And then Miami and Atlanta. Remember, those are the teams with the 10 hardest schedules remaining. So now what that really means is that you guys are playing all these teams that people want to see. And you're not doing half bad yourself for most of these teams. So now when you get a good marquee matchup or you get a nice little matchup that was either expected or unexpected, bam, you flex it into the television spot, and now one of your games just became a TV game. And that's what happens. Most of your games now are set up to kind of be TV games if they can be. Because they want to get as many eyes on there. So now Thursday night, we get New York market and California's market. You get the 5th best team in the East versus the 3rd best team in the West. And all these games have playoff implications. And I don't know why I'm glitching. But also and an effect on the playoff seeding as well. So what we gonna get into? So all of that. So listen, it feels so good to be a Knicks fan, and the fact that we got the longest win streak in the season right now, and this is our second, if I'm not mistaken, this is our second 8-game win streak. Second. That doesn't happen too often. Like, that really doesn't happen too often to a lot of teams. Like, you can't mention a lot of teams that have 2 8-game winning streaks in one season. And most teams that do, and Knicks are nowhere close to this. They usually end up winning a championship in that year. Knicks are nowhere close to that. But telling you that this team has turned into, especially if you're a New Yorker, it's must see TV at this point in time, right? Like, no stars, right? Like, if you're a New Yorker, they must see. Right? You don't want to miss your team playing games because of how they're playing. For the rest of you that's not a New York fan, like, there's no reason for you to want to watch the Knicks. It's like, I have reasons to want to watch Cleveland. You got Donovan Mitchell. And this is what having a star does, right? Like, I watched Charlotte for LaMelo Ball. Watch Portland for Damian Lillard. I watched Detroit for Ivy. I watch Houston. I don't watch Houston. You understand. If I did watch Houston, I would only be because I'm a Houston fan. I watch Orlando because of Ball. You know? So I can understand if you're not watching Knicks games. I wouldn't be watching New York Knicks either. They have nobody that you really want to watch. Like watching Sacramento. I can't say it's like watching Sacramento. At least they have De'Aaron Fox. I can't think of another team with less star power in the playoff picture than the New York Knicks. Now, I know numbers-wise, these guys have been stars this year. But name-wise, the only reason Julius Randle may be a household name is because he's an F-up, right? Or for all the wrong reasons, right? I don't want to call him an F-up, right? But it'll be for all the wrong reasons. It'll be because you remember him because of his rookie season breaking his leg. Then you remember him for being bounced in the first round after making most improved player. Like little things like that. Let's change topics for a little while, right? Let's change topics for a while, and let's see where we end this show at. Did you guys get the opportunity this weekend, as all this madness is going on? Did you guys get the opportunity to watch the live event on Netflix? Their first ever live event, which ended up being a Chris Rock comedy special. And cool. I started catching it, right? And then I ended up watching it. I ended up finished watching it. And started watching it the other night. And then I was trying to make plans to catch it, watch it with somebody. And that asshole didn't respond back to me. So I was like, you fucker. So I ended up watching it today. And it's funny. Like, so he starts off like, yo, I'm gonna try to do a show without offending nobody. And then the last 10 minutes of the show, he just goes on to fully address the whole entire Will Smith, Jada Pinkett thing, right? Like listen, I'm not gonna give away the show. I'm not gonna be here up here like retelling his jokes or nothing. But it isn't definitely much see. Like one thing I am gonna tell you about though is the fact that he brought up Jay-Z, Suge Knight. I think it may be those only. No, not Jay-Z and Suge Knight. Damn it. Jay-Z and Snoop Dogg, maybe? Maybe that's what I'm thinking, Suge Knight. But he brought up Jay-Z and Snoop Dogg. And he made it very clear that he wasn't trying to diss them or anything, right? Because he want to make sure everybody knows that he ain't taking shots at anything, because the last thing that he wants is another angry rapper coming after him. So I thought that was funny because he kind of snuck that in there a couple of places, and now you know exactly where he snuck him in there. But that's up to you now. But nah, definitely go watch it. It was funny. It was funny. Yeah, it's Chris Rock, right? So a little bit of everything that Chris Rock does. You know, a couple of racial jokes, little bit of some politics stuff, some dating stuff. Like kind of like the I don't want to say, yeah, the comedy playbook special 101, right? Say you're not gonna offend people, but definitely gonna tell jokes that people could take offensive if they're thing, right? Do some stuff about politics, talk about your own relationship, right? Make jokes about your love life. What else? Obviously, talked about his own incident. Some racial stuff and moved on. But it was funny. It was funny. You definitely go check it out. If you haven't seen it, I'll go check. Actually, what I ended up realizing was that there was another comedy special that he had on there that I hadn't seen before. After Tambourine Man. And then it made me realize, like, yo, he's dropping Netflix specials all the time. Like, yo, but hey, Netflix. Keep cutting them checks. We're gonna keep watching. Keep cutting them checks, B. Like, yo, actually, if you want to come pick up the podcast, pick up the spot. I'll let you pick up the podcast. You wanna have your first live or something? I'll let you have the show live. 3 times a week. Let's run it. So let's switch gears back into basketball just a little bit, and we're gonna end the show here. And it's the fact that we're gonna talk about the power rankings that have started out this week. And you guys know I like power rankings at the beginning of every week because you know what? I've been keeping track of everybody, right? Right? I've been keeping track of everybody. And I don't want to say everybody. But if you've been here before, you know what we do here, right? I usually keep track of the top 5. We keep track of the top 5. And then also where the Knicks are, the Nets are, the Cavs are, the Heat, and the Magic. Right? So we usually keep track of about like 10 teams here. And we've been real happy the last let's see, records in games between the top 5 teams in the East, point differential. Milwaukee is 7-5, with a point differential of +6. Boston is 6-6, with a point differential of +1.9. That's the best so far. Cleveland 6-6, with a plus minus differential of 1.5. Of +1.5. The Knicks are 7-7, with a differential of -1.5. And then we have the Philadelphia 76ers with record of 5-7, the worst record out of all of them, with a negative point differential or point differential of -2.3. And that's how things have kind of been looking for the top 5 teams. And I don't know if you guys caught on to who I just said were in the top 5 in a way, but yes, folks. If you're not paying attention, all right, I did just mention who you think I mentioned in the top 5. But let's go ahead and first, let's start off at the bottom, right? And let's get the Orlando Magic. Right? Listen, man, Orlando, I'm not trying to poo-poo on you, but you all know where you guys lay. All right, you all know where they're at. So the Orlando Magic, they come in at 26 in the power ranking. No changes. No changes for them. That's just kind of where they're standing at. Now, after Orlando, then we have, and they've fallen so much from grace as of late, right? But it's not hard to anticipate, right? It's not even hard to believe based off of the fact that they've lost their two best players, right? And they're not just the best players. I mean, they are the best players. But these are also two of the best players in the league. And even with that, right? Ironically, they still come in at the Miami Heat. So we have the Miami Heat. Sorry. Oh, you know what? I know why. I did just say that, didn't I? The top 5: Miami, Orlando, Cavs, Brooklyn, and New York. I did just say that. No wonder I'm retorted. It's okay. So the Miami Heat are 15th right now in the power rankings. They haven't changed since last week. Along with the Brooklyn Nets, who are 14th since last week. And that's really the thing, is that Miami Heat in this past week hasn't been able to leapfrog the Brooklyn Nets, even though the Brooklyn Nets don't have their two best players. But the Brooklyn Nets, they play hard, right? They still play hard. They take a couple of bumps here and there, right? Let's see, but ultimately they still give you a run. Like they'll still at least make you have to play yourself and play hard ball. You see them beat Boston this week, and that's probably also what helped them maintain their ranking. Now for Brooklyn this week, they're gonna be playing Houston, Milwaukee, Minnesota, and Denver, while Miami will be taking on Atlanta, Cleveland twice, and Orlando. We'll keep an eye. Actually, did they play Atlanta tonight? Is that who they played tonight? I seen a couple people at the stadium that I knew. Did Miami play or Atlanta tonight? I don't see it. Actually, I know where I need to look. Right here. Let's see here. Tonight. Yeah, that was tonight. Miami ended up winning that game by 2. Jimmy Butler dropped 25. Trae Young also matched him with 25 points as well. Anybody go over 40 tonight with a dub? Donovan Mitchell, Joel Embiid. We'll talk about them on Friday. Right. So now we get into the top 6. Yeah, we move all the way from the top 14, right, to the 14th and 15th spot, all the way to the top 6, and then the 6th spot is where we run into the Cleveland Cavaliers, who also has not changed spots. So Orlando hasn't changed spots since last week. Miami hasn't changed spots since last week. Brooklyn hasn't changed spots since last week, and the Cavs have not changed spots since last week either. Coming in again at number 6 with a record of 40-26. This week they'll be taking on Boston, who I think we just said they played, right? Nah. Yeah. They did just play Boston, and they came back. Right, they're playing Boston. If you just heard they're gonna be playing Miami twice and then playing Charlotte, so they can very easily sweep this whole entire week. For Knicks fans, we're hoping that they don't. We're hoping that Miami gets at least one of those games off. Oh no, right? And that's where they can drop a little bit so that the Knicks can get within striking distance. Now, speaking of the New York Knicks, the Knicks coming at number 5, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in this power rankings. Now we're gonna end up having a nasty little road swing coming up pretty soon, right? So first we're gonna end up playing the Charlotte Hornets. That's gonna be in New York. After that, we go over to Cali, where we take on the Kings, the Clippers, and then the Lakers. All this week, 4 games again. Told you the testing is gonna be here. Sacramento, the third best team in the West. The Clippers, the fourth best team in the West. The LA Lakers, they have LeBron James. Well, or they have Anthony Davis, and they're the 10th best team in the West, right? Now, then there was a crazy stat I remember hearing about the Knicks, and let me see if I see it here. But since I want to say since, or is it this whole year? But the Knicks were what, third in offensive efficiency, right? Fifth in, so I forgot what it was. Defensive efficiency. I remember it was top 3 offensive efficiency, top 5 defensive efficiency with the New York Knicks. That's the New York Knicks this year. That's been the Knicks. I know it's weird, and I know they don't have the guys to do it, but let's see here. Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ, and Julius on the floor together. Let's see. They've outscored opponents 15.5 points per 100 possessions. Jesus. Listen, the Knicks have some really crazy stats attached to them. And the fact that we've jumped up to 5th. Like, no, it's one of those. I can't even speak. I'm flustered. It's hard to believe. It kind of isn't, right? Because what have we been saying this whole entire time? That even though we're 5th in the East, we would be 3rd in the West. We're on a 9-game winning streak. Through this winning streak, we've beat Brooklyn, Cleveland, Boston, Miami. The jump to 5, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised about, because I'm a jumping team. Because let's think about this, right? The New York Knicks, even though their record, right, 39-27, 12 games above 500, right, 9-0 winning streak. We're above the Cavs with a record of 40-26. But also, I already know we have a better record than the Suns. We're above the Kings, have a record of 37-26. We're above the, you know what? I can see it. Above Memphis Grizzlies, who've been struggling. You know what? I see it. Like, it is kind of hard to believe at first. Like, when you see it, like, damn. Like, finally, Knicks again, their respect at 5. And it seems like a massive jump. When you put it all together with their winning streak, the teams that they've won, the team losing, the Knicks kind of do spiral right, get right up there. Now they're behind Philly, who hasn't changed spots, with a record of 41-22. Philly this week, they have Indiana, Minnesota, Portland, and Washington. And if I'm not mistaken, we just heard the outcome of the Philadelphia and Indiana game. I think this is the one we just talked about, where Joel Embiid dropped 40, and so did Tyrese Halliburton. Is that what we just saw there? Yeah, Joel Embiid 42, Tyrese 40. Number 3, coming in at number 3, falling down a couple of spots, all right, are the Boston Celtics after taking 2 L's to us this past week. This week, they'll have Cleveland, Portland, and Atlanta. They already took the L to Cleveland. So now they just have Portland and Atlanta. Let's see if they can get this thing done, because every loss that they take gets not just the New York Knicks, but Philly one step closer to number 1. The Bucks one step closer to number 1, to honing in number 1. So with every loss that Boston takes, every loss that Philly takes, every loss that Milwaukee takes, right, every win, like it starts to shuffle things around a little bit. And what it does, it starts opening that door for New York to possibly creep in 3. where the Boston Celtics are currently at, right, with a record of 45-20. Now, moving back up into the number 2 spot is the Denver Nuggets with a record of 45-19. It's not much to say about the Joker. He's have to get things done. And then staying at number 1, the Milwaukee Bucks with a record of 46-18, despite their one loss. But again, put it in the fact that they have won 17 of their last 18 games. Like I really just don't want to hear it. So there goes your. Oh, you know what? We didn't get a chance to get in here. I'm sorry. We'll make sure we get that next time. Rankings of the week. Bucks 1, Nuggets 2, 3, Knicks at 5, Cavs coming at 6, Orlando all the way at the bottom at 26, and Brooklyn at Miami are at 14 and 15. We are the Mighty Sports Podcast, people. We are about to get out of here. Don't forget that you can catch us live again Wednesday night from 8:07 p.m. to 11:07 p.m. directly from Sharkies. I didn't even give you guys a Blue Chew promo code today. You guys already know what it is, though, right? GSSS is go to bluechew.com, get your first order for free. But yeah, but don't forget, you'll catch us live next week on Wednesday on Sharkies. Don't forget, we have MyT trivia coming up next week. We have a new format for trivia. So we're gonna give away a $25 gift card as the prize for this. We're gonna have 5 rounds of trivia. The person with the most correct answers wins. Let's see how they start liking it that way. Folks, I'm your host, the one and only Donald Taylor. Yeah, it's time. My eyes are getting heavy, knees weak, my sweater on my sweater already, mouth spaghetti. Ooh. Oh yeah, you see the retwist. Oh yeah. Don't you get a little whiff of that at the end of the podcast? Mighty Sports Podcast. We out here.